see the weather has changed just a little bit. It's slightly darker and there is a little bit of rain. Now the airport cars, .ie Formula Sheanes, are heading out. Great to see these numbers back up. They struggled a little bit last year, the year before with 5-6 cars sometimes, but there's been a lot of work put in behind the scenes. The car look fantastic. Their social media is really good. We've got a good team working on it and a couple of newcomers into the class, and it really is great to see it because these cars they're a great formula. David Sheane brought them as a step up from Formula V many years ago, and they've been very successful. They've got a lot more power than a V. They run on slick racing tires, but they move around a lot. They've got a wheel spin a lot, and they go sideways a lot, and they're pretty cheap to maintain. Not particularly expensive to buy either. Formula Sheane.ie, or you'll find them on social media if you want to find out more about them. Enda O'Connor, who is class returnee and one of the guys behind the big push on this class, in memory, of course, of the great David Sheane, Enda's one of that team. There's many people work at it. He's managed to out-qualify Richie Carney, which is good going. Not many people quicker than Richie around Mondello Park. Great to see Richie back. He's been kind of on-off in this class, but he's back out. The car looks fantastic. Keith Rabbit and the boys at Rapco have done a great job with it. Chris McCabe going well there on row 2. Keith Hogg is not used to being on row 2. He's used to being on row 1, so watch out for him. Charlie Lenan and Vinnie Keogh are on row 3. Then Sean Kiernan and Richie Adams on row 4. Chris Dunn and Mike Dermody on row 5. And then Aaron Lenan and Mark Minahan at the back. So there you go. They're on slick tyres now, and it is a little bit wet out there. It's not actually raining at the minute, but it has been during the lunch break. And you can see it's still in the air. Look at the background there up over the trees. So they're coming down to form up on the grid. The airport cars .ie Formula Sheane trophy. They're desperately trying to get a little bit of heat into these tyres. They've moved to slicks and wets this year for the first time. I met Brian Herty, who's here this weekend. He won many championships in this class and in Formula V, and I saw him in the paddock there earlier. So there's the grid. As you can see, Enda O'Connor 57.395. They're not slow, these cars, way under a minute. Then Richie Carney 58.1, Chris McCabe 58.1, and Keith Hogg 58.2. We're getting ready to go. The revs are up. We're missing Richard Carney. He's in the pit lane. We can see him in the pit lane. Problem for Richard Carney. That's such a shame. We were looking forward to a good scrap up front. He always gives entertainment, but unfortunately that car is not there. And away goes Enda O'Connor. Loads of wheel spin. Keith Hogg gets a cracker. Great stuff. Keith Hogg goes really well. I think that's Charlie Lenane with a good start as well. Perhaps the pole man's been swamped. That's Vinnie Keogh down the outside. Great start from Vinnie Keogh as well, the red and silver car. As they all make their way around turn 1. Not sure what the problem is for Richie Carney's car, but they're not trying to fix it. Looks like he's taking his helmet off in pit lane, so he's not going to rejoin. He's down there with his dad Dick. Hopefully we'll see that car out for race 2, but it's very disappointing. And there's Richie Carney in his car. They're just looking a little bit perplexed with whatever's wrong. Very wet out of turn 3. Look at the lens on the camera out there. It's absolutely soaked. You said it did rain very heavily at lunchtime. And there's rain on all the camera lenses now, I think, as they come down towards us. It's Keith Hogg now in front. That's Chris McCabe in second place. Our poleman back to third place. Enda O'Connor, massively experienced. Won't have driven on slicks and a wet track before any of these guys. Sideways stuff there as the leader hangs the tail out coming out of the S's. On around, somebody going around in the background. All having a go on the brakes, but there's very little grip as they come down towards us. See them moving around, and they're all a little bit sideways as they get on the power, and around goes another car. That's Sean Kiernan. Just the back end got away from him. He's okay though, and he's turning it around to get going again. Chris McCabe looking very quick, isn't he? Closes right down on Hogg on the brakes into turn 1. Plain white car in second place. Whereas Enda O'Connor's, in relative terms, is slipping back there to Campion Corner. A little bit of parallel parking going on up at Southside Motor Factory's corner, and a nose cone being left in the middle of the track. I can't see that lasting too long. It's 15, that's Aaron Lenan recovering as well. Battle for the lead though down at turn 3. Going around the outside, Hogg looking for grip. Conventional racing line from Enda O'Connor. And it's Vinnie Keogh, Charlie Lenan. Sean Kiernan minus the nose cone, and Aaron Lenan just still recovering. They're down at turn 1. Meanwhile, the leaders already at the second bit of the S's through Nordic Spirit corner now. High speed corner in these cars. looking for grip all over the place. The leader trying to get to the inside so he doesn't leave the door open. But right round the outside goes Chris McKay. Can't stop it, surely, can he? No, he's off on the outside, into the gravel. Plants it though, lights up the back wheels. He's still in third place, and all of a sudden, Enda O'Connor's back in the running. And half a lap ago at turn 2, he was about 8 or 10 lengths back from these guys. He's right back in the mix and having a go for the lead now. Down the, oh, look at Keith Hogg locking the left front wheel there on the brakes then into turn. Doesn't look comfortable in the car at all. He's obviously on full dry setup. I'm sure they all are. Wonder did they get a chance to loosen a roll bar or anything in assembly. It doesn't look like it. Chris McCabe right back up with them. He's got plenty of pace. O'Connor with fastest lap at the moment. But that was their first, that was on lap 2, so their first flying lap, and McCabe had that mistake, so I think McCabe is potentially the quickest of the trio at this stage. But remember, they're all just finding their feet as they get out to turn 3. It's Hogg, Enda O'Connor and Chris McCabe, and it's Richie Adams, Vinnie Keogh, Charlie Lenan. It's the order as they went by us last time round. Here come the leaders now, out of Nordic Spirit corner, a little bit sideways for Enda O'Connor. Chris McKay, oh, and in the background, is that Vinnie Keogh? Oh, Keogh and Lenan coming, it's maybe Chris Dunn. I couldn't see the car, the number. Let's see when they go by us. First, second and third are all clear and through. Then it's Keogh and Lenan. Richie Adams it was. Richie Adams. He's in 6th place now. Across a couple of places. He got by those two. Was up to 4th briefly. But the car just went around on the way out of the S's. It's obviously very, very slippy out there. They're tiptoeing their way down towards turn 3 now. Hogg is, looks a little bit more comfortable. The car not squirming around as much. Safety car's been deployed. They obviously saw the flag. Reduced speed. There's a car in the gravel down at turn 1. I think that is the Kiernan car. Is it Sean Kiernan perhaps? I think it is. The car right in the gravel down at turn 1. There it is, yeah. Car looks fine, but he won't be able to get it out of there, I don't think. Just locked up and straight in. Can happen easily. Marshall's going to try and give him a hand to get back out. Might need a tow, but the safety car will allow them to do that. The leaders have reduced their racing speed now and coming out of Nordic Spirit corner. You see in the background waves yellows. And a safety car board. Chris McCabe weaving around trying to get a bit of heat into those tyres. Slows them all right up now. Mondello Park snatch vehicles down there to see if they need a tow out. I suspect it probably will. BMW Ireland safety car. That's a BMW M2 competition. Somewhere around 460 brake horsepower in that car. You can drive these cars at Mondello Park if you want. Just log on to mondellopark.ie. Many driving experiences available down here, including Formula Sheanes. You can drive both of those cars. The single seaters that are used by the Mondello Park driving experiences are David Shane built Formula Sheanes as well, and the BMW's M2 competitions, Porsche Cayman S's, Ferrari 430s, and a number of other cars, racing saloon cars, many, many more. So mondellopark.ie if you want to see more of that. If you want to find more about any of the racing classes here this weekend, or you're interested in getting involved, ICCR.ie. That's where all the information is. You just click on classes and click on your chosen class, and you can literally click on how to go racing. It'll talk you through how to get your license. It'll give you technical specs of the cars if you want to have a look at that. All sorts of information. So ICCR.ie, and Infinite Energy, the title sponsor for the ICCR for 2024. So the BMW safety car slowing them right down. The flashing lights on the roof, you'll see, they will be in contact with the tower via radio, and when the incident is cleared down at turn 1, the tower will radio the safety car driver. He'll turn off the lights, indicating to the drivers that we're going back racing again. And then he'll increase the speed and peel off into the pit lane. And from then, the leader, Keith Hogg, will dictate the pace. And when they go back to racing speed, he can go straight away, or he can keep going slowly until he comes onto the main straight. But you can't pass until you start on a restart, until you cross the start-finish line. So slowing it right down in the hope that they'd remove that car. They are removing it, but I think it's too late for this lap. Great work. So once that car's back onto tarmac, it should be able to drive back in, I'd imagine. Yeah, it looks fine. Great stuff. Sean Kiernan on his way. Safety car will do another lap. They've slowed them right down now just to allow that car to be cleared. They'll be able to get back up to a slightly quicker pace, get around, get the BMW back in the pit lane. Here's the light. No, it's still flashing on the safety car, but it will be coming in this lap, I'm told, in my ear. So all clear around the track. We're ready to go back racing. Lights off and the safety cars comes back towards the main arena. Keith Hogg now will lead them around and start racing once again. So indicator on. Yeah, I think that's Roy Tobin, sometime Fiesta NV racer that's driving the safety car. I may stand corrected on that one. And Keith Hogg brings them up to racing speed pretty much now. He's looking in his mirrors. Endo O'Connor high and wide to try and get the run on the way out. You mightn't be able to pass before the start-finish line, but if you get a run, you could be alongside. Yeah, Hogg slowing them right down and going again, but Endo O'Connor's not falling for that one. Neither is Chris McCabe. And it looks like Vinny Keogh right with them, and they do get a bit of a run at him here. And it's 3 wide under the bridge. No room for Chris McCabe. He has to, oh dear, locked up the brake. And just a passenger there straight into the side of Keith Hogg. And that'll be the end of his race, but maybe he can drive it down the escape road. I'm not so sure. He's gone to the outside of the track. At least he's not parking it on the track, so good stuff from Chris McCabe. That's a shame. I suspect he might have been the quickest of the trio there, but just got... It was 3 abreast and he ran out of room, had to back out of it. Then when he got on the brakes, it unsettled the car, and it just really kissed the side of Keith Hogg's car, but it has done a corner. So that's him out of the reckoning, unfortunately, Chris McCabe. Make their way around turn 3. I think we'll be able to go back and have a quick look at that one. They fanned out coming under the bridge. They got a run at the leader. Here we are. And then McCabe backed out of it. Looks to the right. Just watch for his car locking up there. Yeah, locks a wheel, locks again. Just 2 cars going for the same bit of tarmac. I'm sure Keith Hogg will feel aggrieved, but it definitely wasn't intentional. It's just on the rear corner of the car, which is such a shame. But he comes off the brakes, gets it turned in, and gets it out of the way, crucially. I don't think we're going to have a safety car for that one, are we? We have a yellow flag, stationary yellow there. Somebody with a lot of understeer there. In fact, another car going slowly at the top of the pit. 2 cars. 1 car going really slowly, coming down the main straight. It's Hogg, is it? It is. It's our leader. Yeah, Keith Hogg, car number 1. He's pulling off the track now, so obviously he got some damage in that as well. That's such a shame. He won't be happy about that one at all. There he is, just behind the Infinite Energy signs. Good place to park and give us a bit of coverage for our title sponsor, Keith. But that's not how he'll be thinking just now as he gets out of the car. It's a shame. I was leading that one and leading it well, but this is their first race of 2, so hopefully we'll be able to fix that car. I assume it's suspension damage as it is, yeah, it comes up as a legacy of that touch on the main straight, which is a shame. Anyway, let's get back to the race and see who's leading. It's Endo O'Connor by a country mile, and this is the battle for second place. Vinny Keogh now in second place, going nicely, number 28. Number 9, Richie Adams, who has had a spin early on, is back in the mix, is in second place. It looks good in the 7-Up Jordan liveried car. And then it looks like Charlie Lennon with them. It is, as they come up towards the final corner. Oh, Oh, sideways stuff there from Richie Adams, but hangs on to it. But Enda O'Connor a long way ahead. He does fastest lap on that lap, 11.5. He's a lot quicker than anybody else. You mightn't think that's quick, but remember, they're on a wet track and they're all on slick racing tyres. So Kyo Adams and Lenan, then Chris Dunn and Mike Dermody. Slippery surface flags as well down at turn 1 in the background. Vinny Kyo beginning to get away there. Be interesting to see their lap times next time round. All three of them as one now coming down into the S's. Thought Vinny Kyo had got away, but certainly coming up out of turn 3. They're right back with him again. Nobody bothering Enda O'Connor, using all his many years of experience here, XV racer. Always at the front in Formula Sheane. He's already down at the start-finish line. Let's watch the lap times though and see how close these guys are to him. He's gone through with a 12.6 that time. 12.7 for Vinny Kyo. I thought that 12.7 for all three. So they're all just a tenth off the leader. Lapping as quick as Enda O'Connor, but he is 5.2 seconds down the road. Red flags are out. Race has been stopped. I'm not sure where that is. Let's have a look around. But red flags are out. Just a minute to go, so that'll be declared a result. They didn't give him too much running in that race, but a clear win for Enda O'Connor, I would imagine. So let me just have a look out the various windows here and see if we can see where the issue is. Don't see it on screen, but let me have a look. Well, there is a car down at turn 1, but that was already there. And there's a car in the gravel at the south side of the final corner. You'll probably see it in the next shot. Just on the right of the shot here. There's a car in the gravel. I think it's Chris Dunn, possibly. So there's O'Connor. There's our driver parked in the kitty litter on the outside. The checkered flag being waved. It's car number 22. It's Chris Dunn. Very easy to happen, as you can see. They're on slicks, and it's very, very greasy out there. So that's your order. We were heading for a great race there, but they are back out later on. Hopefully the cars, I would imagine that spares are available, and we'll see those cars back out later on. So Enda O'Connor takes the win from Vinny Kyo, Richie Adams. That's your top 3 in the airportcars.ie Formula Sheanes. So there's your extremely provisional results, obviously, because we just ended under a safety car, but there is checkered flag showing on our timing screen, so I would suggest this is it. Enda O'Connor takes the win. Vinny Kyo, a great run to second place. Richie Adams right with him. Then it's Charlie Lenan, Chris Dunn, Mike Dermody, Mark Minahan, Aaron Lenan, Keith Hogg, and Chris McCabe. The last two not finishing, but they're showing as showing on the results sheet. Let's see, we can see Keith Hogg's car being pushed in here on the main straight. 3 cars actually out there. So a little bit of work to get them back in, and we'll go back racing at Mondello Park.
Square left onto loop. Yeah, that's good. Good drive. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Rev it up, rev it up. Go there. Go, go, go. One right, immediately followed by a 5 right. Keep it lit, keep it lit, keep it lit. Come on, come on, keep on, keep on. Keep on, keep on, keep on. Come on, come on, keep going, keep going, keep going.
So that's the last one of the Shanes just being towed in. That's through Campion Corner there, named of course after John Campion, a man who helped many, many Irish drivers before he sadly passed away a few years ago. And Mondello Park remember him with turn 2 Campion Corner. There's a very good video actually on YouTube of Jay Leno congratulating Mondello for naming the corner after John Campion, because they knew each other pretty well. So we should be ready to go in a few minutes' time with the precision tint and graphics future classics class. I think Paul Flanagan is on pole position for that in the little Clio 172. Indeed he is. So with it being a little bit damp, they won't have to worry about barrier times. So this should be quite interesting, although it'll be difficult conditions out there. Won't be quite as bad for them as it was for the Shanes. They're not on slicks, but those track day tyres, same as the Fiesta Zetecs, don't tend to be particularly good in wet conditions. They'll work, but they're not particularly effective. So Paul Flanagan is going to lead them down in the Renault Clio 172, and then Patrick O'Malley in that beautiful Honda Civic EP3. Here they come into shot. So Gary Bradley from the Wexford Motor Club, heavily involved in the Wexford Motor Club and the Youth Academy, is third, and James Marmion alongside him in fourth. Aidan Byrne, very, very experienced driver. He's raced in many classes over the years. Another motorsporting family, 82, he's in a 306 Peugeot, there it is. Ray Melia in the Celica, and then Phil Lawless. Lawless is out on the grid again. Then it's back to the Futures class. They're Super Futures, the ones at the front, and then these are called Futures. Jack Conaghy and Noel Conaghy, father and son team, locking out the front row there. Then it's Christopher Lee and Tristan Adam, then Conleth Quinlan, Aidan Brennan and Aoife Brady. Aoife Brady just back from a few days at the TT. Her social media was very good. Over there with Dan Byrne. We haven't seen Dan Byrne out in a while. He used to be very quick in this class in a front wheel drive Corolla. I can see somebody flashing the lights on a Mazda RX-7 down the back, the pop-up lights down at the back there. Fergus Brennan waves the green flag and they're released from the pit lane out onto a track that's very, very different to the one they qualified on this morning. So here we go, round the warm-up. Let's have a quick look at that grid again. Be interested to see how much this changes, because definitely, as we said, conditions completely different. So there's Paul Flanagan on pole. He did a 106.526, 106.756 for Patrick O'Malley. Gary Bradley 107.281, James Marmion alongside him 107.940. Then Aidan Byrne 108.3 in the Little Peugeot. Ray Melia 106.4 and Phil Lawless 105.927. I'm not sure why Phil Lawless at the back. Oh, he must have broken the barrier time. He's got a quicker time than the cars in front. Don't have a notification of that, but that must be what happened. There's the Conaghys 109 dead for Jack Conaghy and 110.5 for Noel Conaghy. Then Christopher Lee in the Punto, and 110.695. Tristan Adam 110.833. Conlon Quinlan on a 10.9 and Aidan Brennan on a 108.1. So again, the 108.1 is under the barrier time and it's put to the back. And Aoife Brady 107.6. That's why Aoife's, I was wondering why Aoife was at the back. So she smashed the barrier time this morning. She's done a lot of work on that Honda, the Atlas sponsored car. She's done a lot of work, looks very well, and obviously went a little bit too quick this morning, so watch out for her when this race gets going. She won her first ever race at the Mondello Park Historic Festival last year, and she's done track days for a few years. She's involved in the motorsport scene. She's prepared cars, worked on cars, and it's definitely in her blood. And she's got AtlasAutoservice.ie have given her a little bit of well-deserved backing this year, and the car looking absolutely wonderful, as the two cars on the front row do as well. I was looking at them at lunchtime, both very well turned out machines. They're really, really clean. That's Gary Bradley in the ex-Rally Honda Civic. He's really enjoying himself on the circuits this year. So it looks like 2 warm-up laps. Well, it is 2 warm-up laps, obviously, so let's wait and see what happens. So, long time before we get going here. As we said, 2 warm-up laps. The car's just coming down into position at the back. Civic should be very quick on the run down to turn 1, but it's all about the launch with a front-wheel drive car. Red lights are on. A little bit of a jump there from Marmion on row 2. Oh, Paul Flanagan gets a perfect start and he heads away. Noel Conaghy ahead of Jack in the futures, and Aoife Brady already looking to make up places on the inside there in the run down to turn 1. Flanagan was well ahead, but certainly the Civic just eased up alongside him and trying to sit round the outside now for the lead. Paul Flanagan not having any of it, even on in these wet conditions. He's happy enough to go around the outside there at turn 2. The back end can let go there really easily, but look at the straight line speed of that Civic. And that Clio was not slow, but certainly O'Malley just drove by him there, got across his bows and got to the apex before him. Now it's a matter of slowing it down. Gets right into the apex, tidy stuff there. Look at Aidan Byrne in the 306, right round the outside of Marmion, and he takes 3rd place. The 2 Conaghys still side by side and door to door, coming up out of turn 3, and they're hanging on to the faster cars in front. The wet conditions obviously suiting the little minis at the top of your screen, but it looks like O'Malley's going to drive away from everybody here in that Civic. Right out to the outside of the S's there, wipers on. They all have their wipers on. Aidan Byrne going nicely. And the Minis now queuing up behind these main class cars and bringing the little Punto of Christopher Lee with them. That's my old car, in fact. Had great days here racing in that car about 20 years ago in the One Make Punto Challenge, and it's been racing since and through many, many different hands. I was down chatting to him at scrutiny this morning and or last night and having a good look at it. He's getting alongside one of the Conaghys here. Yeah, Jack Conaghy just gets by him on the main straight. So Noel Conaghy leading the futures from Christopher Lee in the Punto now up to second place. In the main class, it's the Civic of Patrick O'Malley and then Paul Flanagan. But Aidan Byrne now starting to clamber all over the back of Flanagan in the 306 unusual race car. He was telling me he's more plans for it. They're going to change from a 6-speed gearbox to a 5-speed. It should be a lot quicker. Doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it now as he sits around the outside. Aidan Byrne will be loving this. Really enjoys his motor racing. Gets back in behind the Clio now on the way up the hill. When he comes back at him again, he's certainly got a little bit more speed than the 172, it looks like, as they come down towards the main arena. Doesn't sit right on the outside there. That would be a brave thing to do in these conditions. Through the left, then up a gear and through the right. Civic absolutely disappearing up the road. There he goes, Patrick O'Malley, nobody touching him. So no issues with barrier times with the rain down. Of course, times are far too slow to worry about any barrier times. Paul Flanagan holding the inside line, kicking up a lot of water there. There is a little bit of standing water on the track. All still have the wipers full on as they go by us. Missing James Marmion from this one. Paul Flanagan slows on the way to turn 3. Byrne is by, brings Amelia with him. That's the battle for second now. Aidan Byrne, the 306. James Marmion in the mix. He's still going, so he's showing at the bottom of my timing screen for some reason. He's going right round the outside. Amelia, I just said earlier it's not the day for it, but didn't bother him there. Had a good go around the outside, didn't quite come off, but a brave effort. Flanagan just sitting back watching this. He must have a problem. He was looking quite comfortable in second place early on there. Turn 3 now, the 306 fighting off the Celicas. Celica's the weapon of choice. Usually the older model Celica was the front running car in this class for many years. Aidan Byrne had one. He's been driven a number of different cars in this class. He loses another place on the run back down towards the S's here. Flanagan's still dropping back, and Bradley not too far from Flanagan now for 5th and 6th place. O'Malley's 6.6 seconds up the road. He's done a 112. He's back down to a 14 last time round. Great battle in the background between the Mini and the Punto. That's Lee and Conaghy Jr. still side by side. This time the Mini a bit quicker. The Punto was a bit quicker in the earlier laps. Probably all about traction there. So it's Melia. It's O'Malley, Melia, Aidan Byrne, Philip Lawless, that is. Okay, so that's Lawless in the Celica, not the car he normally drives, the white Celica. Round the outside now, looking to get by Amelia. Hugely experienced Phil Lawless. He worked at Mondello Park for many years. He won a number of races in Fiesta Zetecs and has a bit of fun in future classics. Trades a little bit in these race cars as well. And he's got by both of them now on the run down to turn 3, to turn 4. In fact, the first bit of the S's. I'm beginning to get away. Be interested to see the pace that Phil Lawless has now. He's come from nowhere. He started last of his group, didn't he? Because he broke the barrier time this morning. Aidan Byrne fires it down the inside. Amelia gives him room but sits around the outside. Drag race time. Carries more speed and just gets across his bows. They start another lap with 8.5 minutes still to run. Two Salikas through Campion corner now. As Amelia tries to get back on terms with Phil Lawless. Lawless down to a 13.2 that time round. 12.9 for the race leader, fastest lap, and he's just done the fastest sector 1 as well. Lawless has been quickest in sector 2 though. Lawless almost matching the times of the race leader now. But he's a long way down the road, 8.5 seconds at the last count. Straight, and certainly Amelia's car looks a bit quicker than Lawless's. Almost gets alongside. Lawless should have the inside line and be later on the brakes here though. That's exactly what happens as they head down to turn 1 by the Beacon Hospital signage. So O'Malley, Amelia, Lawless, Aidan Byrne, Gary Bradley and Noel Conaghy the order. Slow lap there for Christopher Lee. Not sure if he had a spin. He's dropped back from Jack Conaghy. Paul Flanagan has pulled in at the back of the pits, heading for the paddock. That's a shame. Our pole man not going to make it. Unusual for Paul to have a problem. Stuff from Amelia held it well, but that's allowed Lawless to get away by a car length or so. He'll extend that all the way down the straight because of that better exit. 11.9 for Lawless that time. Fastest lap is to Amelia though, 11.1, faster than the leader, 3/10 quicker than the leader's. That man there, 3/10 quicker than the leader's best. Times are coming down, so it must be drying out a little bit. They were doing 12s and 13s last time round. Two Conaghys go through, 4.8 seconds the gap between them, doing the same lap times pretty much. You're in danger of being caught by Aoife Brady, 5.5 minutes to go. She's lapping quicker than them. They're in the high 14s, she's still done a 13.9. So Aoife Brady clearly quickest of the future class at the moment. She's got a little bit of work to do though, she's coming all the way from the back to get the head down. Leader was 8.8 seconds ahead last time round, Patrick O'Malley. Nobody touching him in that beautifully presented Civic. Here's second place battle. There's Lawless. Amelia right with him. Aidan Byrne holding a watching brief at 4th. Bradley, Conaghy again, Lee, Aoife Brady, Conlon Quinlan, Aidan Brennan, Tristan Adam. It's the order in this one. Two Salikas still absolutely together as they cross the line again with 5 minutes to run. Two Salikas still together. Battles all the way down the grid here. Just out of your shot, Aoife Brady up another place. She's passed Christopher Lee in the Punto at the S's on that lap. That moves her up to 3rd place in futures. And Noel Conaghy's gone quicker. He's done a 13.8, so she'll have to get a bit more speed if she's going to catch them, but they're well up the road. Two Conaghys just separated by 5 seconds. That's for the future classic class. Amelia with a go down the inside there. Lawless not having any of it at the second bit of the S's. Slippery surface flag being shown on the run down to turn 1. I'm sure they're fully aware. Maybe there's a little bit of fluid down there as well. Lap times are getting quicker though, they're not getting slower. Leader's just done a 10.6. 11.2 for Lawless. So O'Malley leading from Lawless, Melia, Byrne, Bradley, Conaghy, Jack Conaghy, Aoife Brady, Christopher Lee, Quinlan, Brennan, Adam, Marmion, the order. Landing on the was there, but as we see, he's come back into the paddock, unfortunately. There's Christopher Lee in the little punto coming down on the brakes, and in fact that's Aoife Brady. She's dropped back behind him, so that's Aidan Brennan, I think it is, in front of her. Great battle there, 4 cars absolutely together. You get great variety in future classics. A Celica, a Honda Civic Coupe, 2 Honda Civic Coupes. Aoife Brady round the outside at Campion corner, doesn't manage to carry it off, but that's brave stuff. It's not a corner you want to be going around the outside in the wet in a front-wheel drive car unless you're totally committed, because as we said earlier, if the back end breaks away there, you could be in big trouble. It's one of the few areas at Mondello Park where there's not a lot of runoff on the outside. It's relatively high speed, mid-speed, really. But this is a great battle, as we said. Celica just holding off the 2 Civic Coupes. Just in front of that is newbie from us, Corkman, is Christopher Lee. He's back up to 3rd place. He will get a trophy if he stays where he is in the future classics element of this one. 2 minutes 16 to go. He looks safe out in front of these guys. They come out onto Main Street. Aoife Brady's trying to get up the inside. Celica has a little bit more pace in a straight line, I think, than the Civic. Yeah, her last lap was a 1:21 before that. That's what cost her all the time. She must have had a quick spin out there. So the order still O'Malley, Lawless. O'Malley again into the 9s now, so it's still drying. 109.7 for the leader. Through Campion again, and she is quick through there and draws up alongside the Celica. On the outside now for turn 3. Thinks the better of it. Tries to get back in behind. That battle's still raging with Lawless and Melia. And that's Aidan Byrne in a lonely 4th place. They're looking very bouncy for some reason there. That's Noel Conaghy getting out of shape on the brakes there, pushing hard. The little Mini Cooper, 1600cc normally aspirated car. So Noel goes through with a 12.7 for a personal best, 13.8 for Jack Conaghy. A little bit behind, but they're way clear of anybody else. Next one is the battle. Oh, Aoife Brady's got through, somehow out of shot. So Christopher Lee could be in bother for his podium finish here. There's 51 seconds to go, so they'll be starting what's probably their last lap now. She needs to get by that punto if she's going to get a trophy, and he's going very nicely in that car, and he's not going to hand it away too easily. 2 Conaghys are well up the road in this one, but this is a battle for 3rd place with just a lap to run. 1:16 for Christopher Lee that time round, and 1:14 for Aoife Brady, so she's got the pace. She'll certainly be on him before the lap is. She's already caught him as they come out of turn 1. Through Campion corner, we know she's quick through here. Little punto's not slow either. Through the dip, 3rd gear in these puntos now scream their heads off on the way down to turn 3. It's actually a 1.4 Fiat Tipo engine they use in these cars, somewhere around 110 horsepower. Big run down the outside there for James Marmion. Tries to get right round the outside. Good stuff, I think he's done it. Yeah, he looks like he has. They're side by side on the way back up. The leader right with them, getting a great view of this. Should be able to just blast by these cars on the run down into the S's. That's what he does. Then finishes the move off, coming into the left-hander. Clock is at 0, so this is going to be checkered flag for Patrick O'Malley, the red Civic. Here he is in the centre of your screen. Aoife Brady down the outside. I wonder will she get past? She should get another lap here as long as the Civic doesn't get by her. If the Civic gets by her, then he will. That'll finish the race. But if it doesn't get by her, she'll get another lap. So yeah, she will get another lap as long as they realise that. So O'Malley takes the win. Great stuff from him. Absolutely dominant. It's a drag race to the flag for the 2 Celicas, and it's just about Phil Lawless neck and neck across the line. That's been a cracking scrap between those two. Phil Lawless just pips Melia. So we're watching the future class now. They're still racing. This is a slowdown lap for these guys. Here they come. That's Noel Conaghy coming up down the inside of Bradley. He's actually taking 5th place overall for Noel Conaghy, as well as the Future Classics element win. So he comes down, headlights ablaze, takes the win. And it's Bradley going very slowly. Obviously a problem with the Civic. Jack Conaghy goes through. Looks like Aoife Brady and Christopher Lee came into the back gate. Didn't actually take the checkered flag. They were ahead of the leader, so they should have continued for another lap, but they've gone into the paddock. They still hold their places, I think. It looks like it on the screen. Anyway, shows them a lap down and 12 laps completed, but that seems fine. And so that means Patrick O'Malley will take that one from Phil Lawless and Ray Melia. Let's have a look at the provisional results when they come up on screen here as Gary Bradley's car stops down at turn 1. So Patrick O'Malley takes the win, dominant win by 10.9 seconds. Phil Lawless comes out tops of a great scrap with Ray Melia in the 2 Celicas. Aidan Byrne gets to watch all that one from 4th place in the 306. And then in Future Classics class, Noel Conaghy takes the win from Jack Conaghy and Aoife Brady in 3rd place. Then Christopher Lee going nicely in the little punto, and Conleth Quinlan with that move around the outside in the Ford Focus in the final stages. Adrian Brennan in the Civic, Tristan Adam in the beautiful Mazda RX-7, rotary engined, Mark 1 RX-7, and James Marmion in the Celica. Paul Flanagan retired early on in the Clio 172. So that's the Precision Tint and Graphics Future Classics race 1. They will have another race later on, and we will be back in a few minutes' time with more action from the Siltec Safety Fiesta Zetecs Championship.
Square left onto Lou. Yeah, that's good. Good drive. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Rev it up, rev it up. Go again. Go. One right, immediately followed by a 5 right. Keep it left, keep it left. Come on, keep on. Come on, keep going.
So welcome back, and as we said, the Siltec Safety Solutions Fiesta Zetecs grid are ready to go. Neil Murphy from Siltex leading them round, and the Siltex van there on the left of your screen just brought them out from assembly and back in. He says it's a little bit too greasy to go for a lap. He was going to lead them round to the grid. Might be a wise decision. It's very greasy out there, and they're running on Nankang semi-slick tyres, more like a track day tyre really, so there'll be a little bit of a handful in these conditions. Now the top 6 have been reversed, so Rookie of the Year last year Jason O'Connell starts on pole position with Andy Kavanagh alongside him. There's your grid. Yeah, the times are not really relevant because we're dropping the 6. We're swapping the top 6. That's their race finish time, I would imagine. Third place, William Kellett. Watch out for William. Had some brake problems. They were working away on those. Then David Maguire, who went so well in the first race. He's very much a danger man. Then Sean McGovern, last of the late breakers, Sean McGovern. Then Alan Dawson, who won the last race. Mick Keogh, watch out for him. And then very much a danger man, Eric Holstein. And Eric Holstein has got the live Mondello TV camera on board, so we will be doing a bit of spectating over Eric's shoulder. That'll be interesting. Then James Byrne, Josh Brown, Toby Maguire, who's leading the rookie championship up until this weekend. Then Kelsey Kirby. They're all beginning to file out the pit lane. And Mick McCardle, the added conversions car, Jordan Flanagan, Keith Lenihan and David Bradley. And Adam O'Mahony, Mark Daly, Alex McCann and Liv Corcoran in the Corcoran Crash Repairs car. So this should be very interesting. Got 2 more at the back, Sam Doyle and Eduardo Gonzaga. I think they may have had technical issues in race 1 and they're starting from the back. Expect them both to come up. That's the black car, the Texaco livery car, and Eduardo Gonzaga in the lurid bluish green coloured car. Those 2 there. There we are on board with Holstein. He's flicking the car around. What he's trying to do there is trying to get heat into the rear tyres. Doesn't mind the fronts because Eric, very aggressive driver, and he'll want to know he's got a little bit of heat in the back tyres so he can swing it around. You see the little post-its there, pit lane 25 miles per hour. Last time this car was used was for the 6-hour endurance race, and it's set up for that. It's the Nace Court Hotel car. Himself and Mick Leonard tested it on Friday, and as Eric said, he drew the short straw and he has to race it. But he came all the way from the back up to 8th place, and he said the brakes were absolutely terrible, so he fitted new discs. At lunchtime he bled the brakes, and I did see Johnny Whelan down there and saw all sorts of string and measuring tapes and rulers and stuff, so they're putting a setup on the car. So if that car is a little bit improved at all, he should get right to the front. He was lapping at the same pace as the leaders in race 1. He's always spectacular, great to watch. Highly talented driver, Eric Holstein. A lot of highly talented drivers on this grid, in fact. Up the front, it's always great racing. Really is budget, it's accessible. If you're at home watching this, you can buy these cars sometimes for as little as €2,500 or €3,000, needing a little bit of work. As Neil told us this morning, maybe €5,000. Ian Fishburne's car, a really good car, front running car, sold recently for €5,000. But the running costs are minimal on them. They don't really give any trouble at all. They race road spec engines, oil change during the winter, track them, set them up. Neil Murphy joining me now in the commentary box, deciding not to go out on track, and looking at Eric Holstein's onboard, he's probably made the right decision. That's Josh Brown's car. Looks fantastic. He's livered it up since we saw it last time. The multicoloured, the white car with the multicoloured sides on it there. That's James Byrne in the Dent Master. And that's our cameraman, Eric Holstein, in the Nace Court Hotel car. We're expecting great entertainment from him, purely because he'll get slagged mercilessly if he doesn't go well in this one by Mick Leonard and all the rest of the gang. Here they come, all waving around, trying to get heat into these tyres. So Jason O'Connell's been a real find. He was a rookie last year, and he's immediately quick when he came into the championship. He blitzed the rookie title and actually managed to take an outright win in his rookie year. Very difficult thing to do in this class. You'll have battles wherever you are in this class. There's every level of driver, but up the front it's really difficult. Some of the best drivers around up the front. William Kellett's competed at the top in here and in the UK. It's very, very quick. Young Dave Maguire and Sean McGovern, the young charges of the class, as we know. So Mick Keogh and Holstein there on row 4. So 2 cars right up on the mark lines where you're supposed to be. A lot of times drivers don't drive right up to them, but they're right forward as far as they can be. Andy Kavanagh, very experienced, been racing about probably 25, 30 years. He's raced in V's, Formula Sheanes, and he's very successful in these little Zetec Fiestas in the Miles Plus car. 5-second board is taken away by Fergus Brown, our starter there. 15 minutes to go. Red lights are out and away they go. And it's Jason O'Connell. Kellett gets a cracker too. Holstein with a bad start off his slot there. Mick Keogh gets a better one. They're coming down in grid formation down into turn 1. You'll see them dip now when they get on the brakes. Jason O'Connell does it to perfection. Takes the lead. Hopefully they'll all stay apart now as they make their way around 1. There's Daly going through the beautiful Martini livery car. And Sam Doyle trying to make up a couple of places. Look at Kellett in 3rd place, already sniffing around the back bumper of Andy Kavanagh's car. Fancies a run down the outside. Kellett gets alongside on the outside now. Will he tuck back in or will he have a go? Looks like he's brave enough to sit around the outside. He does through the first apex. That's hard to do. Alan Dawson already up to 4th place. He's got by Maguire and McGovern in this one. They won't be happy with that at all. And he's alongside for 3rd already, Alan Dawson. As he come back towards us, William Kellett surely go back at him on the brakes. Into the S's. Holstein making a move now. He's got by Mick Keogh and he's joined this lead group. Yeah, Kellett fights Dawson off there. Now we're on board at Holstein. This is what Zetec Racing is right. 2nd gear into 3rd gear. Look how close it is. Maguire's been boxed out now. Holstein's going to try and get up the inside of Maguire, and I think he's done it as we head up towards the final corner. There's nowhere to go. He's down the outside now of McGovern. So Holstein up 2 places, but Maguire's gone in late in the brakes and round the outside trying to carry speed. Kelsey Kirby in the mix too. Maguire gets bundled out, but did he hold off Holstein? They're door to door now as they go down the main straight. Look at him on our left hand side, nothing in the straight line. McGovern car in front of us now. Holstein moving out slightly to the left. He doesn't want to let Maguire round the outside of him here. Maguire and Master are sitting around the outside, but I'm sure Eric will show him where the exit curb is on the way out there. Bradley going nicely in there too. But no, O'Connell it is leading from Andy Kavanagh, William Kellett and Alan Dawson. Oh, look at Holstein round the outside at Campion corner. He's not happy with that at all. Hand in the air. He bundled off the track he feels as he goes down into turn 3. Maguire on his outside now. Holstein back to the inside. Should be able to get that place. He does get the place. Gets in front of Maguire now. Let's see if he can make any further progress. I suspect his steering wheel was slightly off there. I wonder, did they touch wheels? Did it knock the tracking out? It wasn't completely straight as we rode on board with him there. We'll find out quick enough, because that'll certainly stop any pace or any charge forward that he had if that is the case. Still rain on the camera lens there as they come out of the S's. So Holstein now desperately trying to get it up into this group in front. Andy Kavanagh with a big look down the inside. We're on board again with Holstein. He gets it turned in, gets back on the power. 2nd gear here, right out to the exit curve. Then 3rd gear. Yeah, that steering wheel's slightly off, isn't it? And they tracked the car at lunchtime, so I'd imagine that car's had a tip. That just slow him down a little bit, perhaps. Mick Keogh next up with it's James Byrne behind him again. Those two had a little bit of elbowing last time out at Mondello Park, so Mick won't be too keen seeing that in his rearview mirror. Kelsey Kirby going better than she did in the last race. William Kellett round the outside and takes 2nd place away from Andy Kavanagh now. That's wrong-footed Kavanagh. Dawson wants a piece of the action too on the way down to turn 3, but he's got McGovern right in his mirrors. Dawson pushing Andy Kavanagh now at the first bit of turn 3. Oh, McGovern down the inside of Dawson. Cracking move from young McGovern. Dawson was looking forward, I think, and not back, but he tries to sit around the outside. He should be able to do it. Alan Dawson was doing this in first race, carrying speed around the outside rather than slamming the door shut, but McGovern with a belter down the inside. These two are battling in race 1. It'll happen again. Look at Holstein trying to get involved in the action here down the inside of McGovern. Changes into 3rd gear, but he's on the outside for the S's. And Maguire is on the bumper of McGovern now, and Holstein could lose a place here as they head up towards the final corner. Oh, he's very late in the brakes. He gets past Maguire and he's down the outside of McGovern again. So Holstein on very much on a charge, bundled out to the edge of the curb, gets it back in. He's going to be boxed out surely down at turn 1 now. You can see that steering out just a little bit. McGovern's car slightly quicker in a straight line. 3rd gear now heading under the BMW bridge, down to the braking corner. Great to be able to go on board at one of these cars. He's later on the brakes. Holstein, oh, he gets a clip from behind. And a little bit of opposite lock to correct. That's Dave Maguire edging his way past. Holstein won't be happy about that. That's twice they've had contact. Through turn 2, Campion corner now. And it still is Jason O'Connell out in front leading, and leading well. And William Kellett, these two are buddies, but William Kellett love a win here. DMC Consultancy, his new sponsor. The car looks absolutely fantastic. He's a former champion in this class, of course. William Kellett going really nicely today. Nice, calm and composed. He worked his way past Andy Kavanagh, which is no easy feat. And he's now looking for the lead from Jason O'Connell, but Jason O'Connell does not look flustered at all. Out in front, Holstein having to do it all again now. He's back behind Maguire. Here we are. Grabbing 3rd gear and changing direction there, trying to hang on to that JMC car. Nobody making any moves just yet. Kellett is inching slightly closer to Jason O'Connell though. great battle. You do get great racing from this budget class, don't you? Look how many cars are going for the lead, about 10 as Dawson pulls out. I don't know if he's looking for fresh air or trying to get by. He could be trying to get cool air into the car, because he wasn't getting a run at anybody there. And it's McGovern, Maguire, Holstein, Keogh, James Byrne, and Kelsey Kirby. First rookie is Toby Maguire from Jordan Flanagan and Mark Daly. Good stuff from Mark Daly. Beautifully turned out car. So conditions drying out. They're down to the 12s now. Wipers are on and still a little bit of drizzle, but certainly they're going pretty well here as they head up towards the final corner. Oh, someone with a big move down the inside. That's McGovern on Dawson. Gets it done. That's twice he's done that to Alan Dawson today. Dawson doesn't manage to come back at him this time though. Tries to sit around the outside, but Maguire up the inside of Dawson now. Could lose 2 places here. And definitely I think Holstein must have got that steering knocked out. He doesn't have the pace that he was showing in the opening laps. He's just sitting there now as they head down towards turn 1, and Maguire does get the job done, and that's 2 places gone for Alan Dawson, and it'll be 3 if Holstein has his way. Holstein gets alongside him, a little bit of contact there, moves away from him for turn 2, into 3rd gear now. A little bit of a wave there. So 3rd gear now heading down towards turn 3. The Nace Court Hotel car, number 10 running in 7th place. It's our onboard camera. The JMC car of Dave Maguire. Just in front. Those 2 young cubs have both got by Alan Dawson inside that last lap. So William Callett's still very, very close to Jason O'Connell, and they've got a little bit, well, a length, a huge gap by Zetecs standards away from Andy Kavanagh. Great second race. They gave us great entertainment this morning, and crucially staying away from each other. No real damage in it. Holstein looks like he's fighting the car a little bit there on the way out of the S's. Lights on now for Kellett as he begins to pile the pressure on. Alan Dawson having a look down the inside of Maguire, but Maguire doesn't even defend, just sweeps across the front of him. That slowed him a little bit and allowed Holstein onto Dawson's boot lid as they come down the main straight. Mick Keogh just hanging on to this one with James Byrne. A big gap behind them, back to Kelsey Kirby, Josh Brown. Rookie leader Toby Maguire's been caught by Jordan Flanagan, only a couple of seconds behind him now. It's a big battle on for the rookies, and Simon Doyle and Mark Daly are battling for the 3rd for the podium spot in rookies as well. Doyle has got by Daly. William Kellett just can't find a gap just yet. There's no mistakes at all coming from Jason O'Connell. He's a great addition to this class, Jason O'Connell, and it just shows how the rookie class works. You can race with other rookies for the first year, and every year we've done it, the rookie champion is right at the front next year, the following year. It always happens. Jason O'Connell, very much the complete package. The car is presented beautifully. He drives it really well. Lovely guy, mad into his racing, and he would be delighted to get a win here today, but William Kellett will try his very best to deprive him of that chance. Holstein dropping back from that group now. Mick Keogh beginning to catch him. Fastest lap is Sean McGovern, who's just down the inside for 3rd place. McGovern on fire today, isn't he? He's so late in the brakes. Got some great moves from Sean McGovern. He's up to 3rd place. That's not what William Kellett will be going. That's not really what I want. It's not what I want to see in my rearview mirror. This Holstein, but he's definitely dropping back just a little bit. Fastest lap to McGovern, including the overtake at 12.257. The car's still moving around. It's got a bit wetter down there at turn 1. Maybe suiting Holstein a little bit. So many cars going by here, big battles, but it's still on in the lead. Just 6 minutes to go in this one. Somebody off down at turn 1, Keith Lenihan. Round the outside through the gavel, should be able to rejoin. There were 4 abreast going down the main straight, but this battle's still just a snake of cars. O'Connell, Kellett, McGovern, Kavanagh, Maguire, Dawson, Holstein, Keogh and Byrne. That is your top 9, and they're all pretty much together on track. 5.5 minutes to run in this one. Looking good for Jason O'Connell. Kellett looks quick though, doesn't he, out of the S's, and O'Connell just holds the centre road, doesn't use all the track on the way out. He knows exactly what's happening here. There might be a move coming. Look at Maguire, has a look down the inside there. Dawson goes to the outside to try and get a run. Down at turn 3. I wonder, is William Kellett just hanging on, or is he waiting to make a move? 4.5 minutes to go. Feeling if he had the pace to do it, he would have done something by now. He's just sitting right in his tracks, but he's a clever young man. The danger for him probably is McGovern, who's getting closer. He's quicker again last time round. In fact, he's right with Kellett now. As they come out of the S's and up to the final corner, and this time it's Kellett who goes defensive. Look at this, like a bomb burst. They're all having to go down the inside. Kavanagh has a look down the inside. Maguire has a look down the inside of Kavanagh, and that allows Dawson and perhaps Holstein to get a little bit closer again. Here comes the train as they go across the line with 4 minutes to go. This is great stuff from Jason O'Connell. No locked wheels, no missed apexes, nothing at all. He hasn't made one mistake in this one, and he's got big pressure behind. Some really quick drivers lining up behind him, and the cars have got to be said beautifully turned out. That's because Neil Murphy makes them turn the car. He goes around the paddock with his clipboard. If there's a mark on a car or a sticker missing, they'll know about it pretty quick. So great stuff, and the cars do look fantastic as a result. Look at these first 3 cars. But Jason O'Connell there, no mistakes again, no gap down the inside. Andy Kavanagh looks like he's got a bit of pace. He was passed by McGovern, but he was hanging on to him and was right with him at the final corner. In fact, Maguire's got a run at Kavanagh now, and they're both gone right out to the edge of the track. He's going to try and sit around the outside here, Maguire, but Andy Kavanagh should be able to manage that one. McGovern there with a run on Kellett perhaps as they come off the S's. No, William Kellett gets it sorted, gets a good run away, and just the gap stays the same, I think. Alan Dawson now all over the back of the JMC car, and he has a look down the inside, and I think he's going to get that done. Maguire turns in, there's contact, but Dawson's got the place. Maguire goes a little bit wide. Tucks in behind Dawson again. 2 minutes 42, so a couple of laps still to run. Kellett almost has a look down the inside, just shows him a headlight there. First 3 are so equally matched. They've just got away a small bit from Andy Kavanagh now, but they are welded together. Here they come. It's like one big 12-wheel machine heading down towards turn 3. It's O'Connell, Kellett and McGovern looking down the inside again. He loves these late braking manoeuvres, Sean McGovern. You can see him just hinting at one there, just a little bit of a look down the inside, and there was no gap. William Kellett will have one eye on the mirror at all times now. Kellett hold the inside there as McGovern has a look. Second gear and into third now as they come round to the S's, to the left, to the right at Nordic Spirit corner. Right out to the edge of the track, and then casually breezing to the inside. This time Kellett has to go full defensive. That's the first time that's happened. McGovern will be looking to get a run at him now on the way out, and he does, right up to the back of him on board again with Holstein, but he just can't get up to those cars in front. Just look at the steering, steering off to the left just a little bit. Again, McGovern on the attack. He's late in the brakes, but so is Kellett. This will be a relief for Jason O'Connell. I'm sure he was suspecting a last lap ambush from William Kellett, but Kellett now I think has more on his hands. He needs to keep an eye on the mirrors. He's got a real Mondello man on his tail. Sean McGovern now looking very good in this one in third place. Driving the Alex Denning car. We know that car well. It's been out a few times in the 6-hour race. Andy Kavanagh's not far away. He's almost making it 4 now, and it's not quite the final lap. We'll get one more after this. So Jason O'Connell will be a long race for him. He'll be longing to see the checkered flag. Well, he'll see it shortly. As we said, he does look very composed, and I'm not sure if Kellett can mount an attack, because if he goes offline at all, you can just tell that Sean McGovern will be into that gap. They're absolutely together. Look at this race. It's fantastic. How many cars have we got in that lead battle? 9. Big bit of a gap behind them, but they're so closely matched. Dawson just so defensive now as Maguire tries to have a go at him. He's very tight. Maguire gets a big wide sweep and is surely quicker on the exit now. He is. Dawson knows it and goes to the inside. Passes lap is to Maguire. Dawson's managed to cover that one again. Maguire goes to the inside, then back to the outside. JMC car. Been up and down the timesheets today, Dave Maguire. It's looking very good for Jason O'Connell. 2 seconds to go. That's it. The clock is at 0. This is the final lap. Down to turn 3 for the last time. It's O'Connell, Kellett and McGovern as it has been. Jason O'Connell has not put one foot wrong here. It's a great drive from him so far. But with William Kellett behind you, wouldn't be counting your chickens just yet as they come back towards us. Great to see them all still so close at the end of a 15-minute race here at Mondello Park. Tricky conditions, but it's not bothering them. have the S's for the last time. Holstein will be cursing that little bit of contact early on. Maguire's almost in the boot of Dawson now as they come out of the S's. Kellett goes to the inside, but that's actually to defend from McGovern. Maguire having a real go at Dawson, but Dawson uber defensive. Tries to get a switchback. He does get a switchback on him. Dawson moves across. Maguire, I think, is going to get it done, but Jason O'Connell takes a fantastic win. Headlights flash as he goes across. That's great stuff. Oh, and Dawson. I possibly put, I don't know if Dave Maguire hit the wall or not. I think he did. Just no room being given there as they went by. I'm not sure about that one, but I'm sure it'll be seen downstairs. Great battle coming towards us now. Look at this one. It's Josh Brown, I think, just ahead of Kelsey Kirby. Great stuff. There really are battles all the way down the grid in this one. It's Josh Brown, Kelsey Kirby, and Toby Maguire takes the rookie win just about from Sam Doyle, who gets fastest lap of the race on the final lap. So Sam Doyle, the rookie, fastest lap of the race, 11.8. And then Eduardo Gonzaga all the way from the back. David Bradley. Adam O'Mahony takes a rookie podium in third. He'd be delighted with that one. Then Mick McCardle, Jordan Flanagan, Keith Lenihan, Mark Daly, and Liv Corcoran and Alex McCann. So great stuff from Siltex Safety, Zetecs. Let's have a look at the results on screen. Here we go. Jason O'Connell, William Kellett, Sean McGovern, Andy Kavanagh, Dave Maguire and Alan Dawson, your top 6. So Dave Maguire did get it done and got by Alan Dawson despite that rub into the barrier as they crossed the line. I think that will probably be discussed at a slightly lower level than me in the tower, but that's not for me to not for me to decide, I should say. Kelsey Kirby, 11th, good run from her. Toby Maguire taking the rookie win just from Samuel Doyle, who had a great run. Sam all the way from the back of the grid, and fastest lap of the race. And fastest first sector of the race is James Byrne. Quicker than the leaders, 37.1. In fact, 4/10 quicker than Jason O'Connell through the first sector. So a bit of pace in James Byrne if he could get out of traffic. But yeah, great stuff from the Zetecs once again. The Siltex Safety Zetec Championship giving us absolutely fantastic entertainment. So we're going back racing again. This time it's the Precision Tint and Graphics Irish Touring Cars for their second race of the day. Great entertainment early on. So let's see how they come down to us. It's Stuart Curran showing on pole position, but actually it's Owen Drought coming first out of the traps as they head down towards us in the Golf GTI. might be wrong, but I suspect he has wets on that car, which would be a wrong decision, I think. Certainly the Zetecs were back down to their qualifying pace this morning, just now, well, to within a second of it. So it's pretty much bone dry out there, but those wheels and tyres look different to the ones we saw on Owen Droud's car early on, so he may have opted for wets. So there's the grid. Stuart Curran should be on pole, but he didn't emerge from the assembly area, so there must be a problem there, I think. So Owen Droud was first away. You can ignore the times underneath them because it's the top 6 are reversed from race 1, so that's just the finishing time from race 1. Cian Walsh next up. Cian Walsh, very much a danger man, won the first race at a canter, going beautifully this year in that black EP3. Rob Savage, who I don't think is out, is he? Let's have a look. I think his gearbox may have let go. Yeah, so we're missing 2 cars in the 2 front rows. Ryan Stryker, then an Oisin Clune next up. Then David McMinn in the Seat, beautiful little car, very unusual. Colin Morris in the Civic. David Flynn, watch out for him. He could be one to watch in this, in the white Integra with the black bonnet. And Michael Clune in the little CRX. And Ian Stryker back out, great to see it. The red Integra, he had fastest lap in race 1. And then Rob Doherty is back out, I think, indeed he is. He had a drive shaft let go earlier on, but they've obviously got it fixed. So it looks a little bit misty on camera, but it actually doesn't look too bad out the windows here. Let's wait and see what happens. I've got their wipers on, just intermittently, only 1 or 2 of them as well, so let's see. 2 warm-up laps, it looks like. That's interesting. Owen Droud is weaving around as if he's got slicks. He's quite aggressively weaving around as if he's trying to get heat into slicks. There he is, coming down into turn 1, the Ross Cray garage man. Owen Droud car sales. Stapleton's Bakery also on that car. DSG Golf Mark 5 GTI. Put a lot of work into this car since he's got it. As we said, very quick, but handling issues have always plagued him, and brakes as well, but he's made a vast improvement. It was very quick mid-race in race 1, but it went off again towards the end. I don't know whether the brakes overheated or it's tyres, but certainly he was finding it very hard to get it turned in the latter stages. That little Seat, very unusual car. It's not, I don't think we've seen it here before, certainly not a regular visitor to Mondello, but great to see it, and it's not slow. So Droud and McMinn fighting against the Hondas. So that's another danger man. Watch out for that red Integra. Ian Stryker right at the back. Here comes Owen Droud, down to take up what effectively will be pole position. He'll start from the P2 spot where we're missing Stuart Curran. 15 minutes to go in this one. Getting ready to go. The Irish Touring cars. Fergus Brennan with the 5-second board. Takes it back in. The red lights are on. They're off and away we go. No mistakes from Owen Droud. Cian Walsh coming at him though on the run down to turn 1. They're all away clear. Walsh goes to the outside. Tries to get in later on the brakes, but the Golf it is that leads as they get turned in, and it's the Sayed up to third place. That's David McMinn from 7th on the grid. But from even further back, David Flynn, 9th on the grid, looking for second place now at turn 2. So a couple of real charges coming up from the back as Cian Walsh tries to get by, but the Golf just drives away, even from Cian Walsh. That Golf of Owen Drought so strong in a straight line, it just pulled 2 lengths there like a shot as they came out of turn 2. Come up out of turn 3, and it is Drought leading from Cian Walsh. And it looks like Flynn, although McMinn having a real go down the outside, the little Sayet, and sitting around the outside for third place. Great stuff from him. It's not a name I've heard too many times before, David McMinn, but he's certainly well able to steer, having a real go. But it looks like David Flynn is hanging on to that one. Drought goes defensive there. Walsh has to go to the outside. They're both hugging the inside line on the way out, but the Golf should have enough to hold off even that Civic here. And it does. It doesn't even hold it off, just drives away. Well, they were bumper to bumper at the apex, and there's half a second in it when they went by the line. Owen Drought now, pretty experienced, so he goes down the inside. He's not going to leave any gap on the inside there. They're all queuing up behind and all the way from the back. We did say watch out for Ian Stryker. He's in 6th place and not too far away as they go through Campion Corner here. Walsh is quicker through Campion Corner, gets a run, but let's look at the Golf as it gets going. Down through the first apex on the brakes and into the second apex. If Owen Drought's on wets, we'll know about it within a couple of laps because they'll just melt off the cars. It's quite clear out on track. There's no rain at the moment. Here they come down into the S's. Scott's got his wipers. Give the wiper a quick wipe there, but I think he's the only one with wipers on. And through the second bit of the S's, they're both braking quite a lot there, in fact. Oh, and Owen Drought, there's no way he was leaving a gap up the inside. So just slowing them right down and going to the inside. Now it's going to be a drag race here. Now Cian Walsh's car is incredibly quick in a straight line, but that Golf seems to be able to hold him off. And here they come again down the main straight for the drag race. Volkswagen versus Honda on the main straight. And it's Volkswagen who just drives away again on the straight. 158. She's 3 kilometers an hour quicker that time through the speed trap, and then hugs the inside line. And just tries to keep it tidy, crawling around the first corner. Owen Drought straightens it up through Campion Corner. It's going to be a long race if he's got to try and do this. That's where Walsh is dangerous. I suspect he might have slicks on, and if he has, they're coming up to temperature. He'll get a run through turn 2 and get alongside, which he does. Then they're down to turn 3. Oh, and down the inside, possible change for second place. Contact, only just slight contact, but nobody gets turned around as they come back towards us. It's Drought, Walsh and Flynn now. Down into the main arena. Lap time's 1:04.7, the fastest lap. Drought on a 5 dead, so he's not going that slowly. But again, just holding the inside line there. He doesn't want anyone to get a run at him. And if they do, they can go down the outside. He's happy enough with that. Walsh down the outside. Drought has it all collected, a tight line on the way out. Walsh lets it run right out to the curbs, and he gets that extra momentum. He gets alongside, he almost gets the lead, but the Golf comes back at him now as they go across the start-finish line again. It's still Drought, but only just. Can Walsh get in later on the brakes? He's going to try and sit around the outside here. I suspect he maybe can. We know he's quicker through turn 2. He can, and he'll just drive away now, I suspect. Let's watch them on the run down to turn 3. The Golf gets a bit of a run at him, but certainly that Civic very quick through these higher speed corners. Through the right hand kink now, and the gap just opening up as Walsh gets back to where he was in race 1, looking for the double here. Back up the hill one more time. Drought's car just looks very quick when it gets going, but Walsh very quick through turn 3 complex, and that's opened out that gap just a little bit. This will be interesting now as they come back towards us. We can see something. They'll definitely be going, both of them will be going quicker now at this stage, I suspect. First time you've seen Drought take a racing line out of the S's right to the outside now in the Golf. Somebody having a look. He has to defend there. That's David Flynn having a look on the brakes and trying to do that run round the outside. He knows better, gets in behind in case there's any chance of a tow. Yeah, fastest lap to Cian Walsh straight away, 1:03.3. Fastest personal lap for Drought. And David Flynn on a 1:04.853. So Drought holding on in second place. I think Owen Drought probably leading this championship now. He was second to Rob Savage, but Rob Savage dropped out of the first race and didn't start the second one. So through the first apex of turn 3, these two cars are actually in the touring class. In fact, they're all in the touring class except for Cian Walsh and Owen Drought. Every car in the race. So that's a battle for overall honours, those two, the two Integras for their class, for the touring class. as opposed to super touring, which is Cian Walsh and Owen Drought. And Walsh is checked out, he's disappearing up the road. And Owen Drought being defensive again, does not want to leave that gap up the inside, so doesn't carry full speed through the S, just stays to the inside. It's really what you've got to do on Mondello National. Just get to the apex before your pursuers, and he's got plenty of speed here, as we know, so he can just stand on the loud pedal then. Past he goes again. Personal best for Drought now down to a 4.3. Fastest lap though to Cian Walsh at 2.3, way quicker than anybody else. Drought is second fastest out there, 4.3, quicker than anybody else, I think. Well, McGinn's just done a 3.9. McGinn in the little say at a 3.9. He's not far from this group. There's Drought again, stretching his legs there. The car's okay through that complex and down to turn 3. Not really holding them up. It's certainly better than it was the last time we saw this car at an ICCR round. But it was the latter stages of race 1 where it became a handful. It just did it there again, didn't get to the apex. It's like he's still trying to stop the car when he's going by the apex. There's no way of getting around there. So he'll probably slow them down here at the S's again. Not so much. If they hung back and got a run, easy for me to say, it might work. But certainly he's doing a good job defensive driving here on the run up to the final corner. I think that's allowed Striker up the inside of Flynn, has it? Possibly. Out onto the main straight now. Great sound effects as these cars go by, and Flynn's got alongside but hasn't got the power to get the job done, and had no choice but to tuck back in behind the Golf again. 8 minutes to run in this one. Oh, he's late on the brakes. He's down the outside. He's got around the outside of the Golf this time. Goes a little bit wide but manages to contain it. Good move. So that would suggest again, and maybe it's brake problems with the Golf rather than suspension or tyres. But we're 6 laps in, on the 7th lap now. Certainly beginning to look like a bit of a handful. We'll watch it here again in the second apex. That was a great move either way from Flynn. Down the outside of the brakes, got it turned in. These others are catching up as well, aren't they? McMinn again. Did a 4.8 the last time round, but they were all in the 5s. 2nd, 3rd and 4th place. So now Flynn begins to get away, and Striker's turn to try and get his way by the Golf here. Certainly have to use your head to get by this car, because Owen Drought's well able to slow it down at the apex and then just blast it down the straight. So that I don't think will work. Indeed it doesn't. It's got to be a run through a corner or carry more momentum when Drought goes defensive. Seems to be the way to do. Oh, massive lockup. Would suggest there are problems with the brakes there. Big lockup. That'll surely flat spot whatever tyres he has on the car. And he goes wide on the exit, beginning to struggle with the Golf. And there are 7 long minutes to go as they go through Campion Corner together. Nothing wrong with the engine, but certainly it's beginning to act up again. Oh, this time Striker down the inside. Almost contact, but they give each other room, and he gets through. So the Golf certainly gives us plenty of entertainment. It's up front for a couple of laps, and then by mid-race it just begins to fall apart in terms of getting it round the corners. Cian Walsh out in front by 6.3 seconds. There's Michael Clune going slowly on the outside. David Flynn down into the 2s as he tries to chase down Cian Walsh. Then Striker, then it's Drought. A big lunge up the inside from McMinn there on Drought, but doesn't get it done. A lot of understeer from McMinn's car there as he gets it up and running. Colin Morris now in that newly reliveried car gets a run and tries to get alongside the Sayat in his Civic. Has a look to the outside, has a look back to the inside again. Another lock up for Owen Drought's Golf. Probably 5 laps still to go in this one. So those two scrapping, and that gives Drought a little respite. But it's Walsh, Flynn, Striker, Drought, McMinn, Morris, Clune, Ryan Striker and Robert Doherty. And Michael Clune, in fact, he's down a couple of laps. I think he's been in the pits a few times maybe. Coming back towards us again. Cian Walsh slowed on the last lap to a 65 and a 63 for Flynn. So it's closing up front. Here we go, look at this. It's much closer up front. So it's not all over just yet. David Flynn on a charge. I did say on the warm-up lap to watch out for him, but I didn't think he was going to catch the leader. Let's watch the times and they come around here again. 107.2 for Walsh, 104.9 for Flynn. So Walsh going very slowly. Striker goes through on a 4.8, Drought on a 4.8 as well. They're all quicker than the leader by a number of seconds. So let's watch this for the leader. Is there a problem here? Certainly two very slow laps in relative terms. 107 is 5 seconds slower than his fastest lap as he heads out towards turn 3. Wonder, has he got some sort of intermittent problem? Let's have a look. Gap down to just 1.8 seconds. Car looks fine. Certainly David Flynn is closing him down. He's closer again now as they come back towards us. There's rain coming down now. Quite definitely rain coming down. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe Cian Walsh is not that comfortable in the car in wet conditions. And certainly he's being caught hand over fist here. The last time round, Owen Drought as quick as his fastest time, and Ian Stryker as quick as his fastest time, so conditions shouldn't be worsening. I can see a bit of rain on the window. .106.9 that time for the leader, 105.9 for David Walsh, the gap down to 0.8. 106.2 for Stryker, 107 dead for Owen Drought. Everybody else in the sevens. Conditions are definitely getting worse out there now. Big lock up into the final corner there and a change of place. That's Ryan Stryker getting by Oisin Clune. Oisin Clune with a big lock up and goes wide, but he fights back on the main straight now. They're side by side, and Rob Doherty right with them as well. Big lockups all round. There's trouble stopping them all. There's going to be contact off. Yeah, there is, and into the gravel. We missed that one on camera, but I think there might have been contact there. All we saw was Clune locked up, but I think that's going to give us a safety car. Even with the limited slip diff, they're not going to get out. One of them might. Reversing might help, but I'm not. Yeah, I know he's trying that. It's not going to work. So 4.33. Ryan Stryker embedded in the gravel there in the Precision Graphics car. Just coming down behind him. They're the leaders. They're absolutely together. This will be interesting stuff. Red flags. The red flags are out. Race has been stopped. 2 minutes to go. That'll be a result, I'd imagine. The red flags are out. The race has been stopped. So that will be Cian Walsh taking the win. Checkered flag as well, so that will be a result. Checkered flag and red flag. So Cian Walsh from David Flynn and Ian Stryker. Owen Drought next up, then Colin Morris, David McMinn, Ryan Stryker, Oisin Clune and Rob Doherty. Michael Clune not still running. Well, Irish touring cars are on the way back by the look of it. That's quite a good grid for them. Certainly this morning we had 2 or 3 more, but it was a good turnout. Better than they were last year, and the racing is absolutely fantastic, and many different types of cars, which is always good to see. So there's 4.33, getting good coverage for his sponsors. Jay O'Reilly be delighted with that. Precision Graphics on the side of the car. So another win for Cian Walsh. Double win at Mondello Park for him today. Owen Drought will get second place points for Super Touring, even though he was 4th across the line, and all the rest. So 10 finishers in that one. Clune just crossing the line. You can see the rain coming down now. Again, the camera's coming down fairly heavily now, and Fiesta STs next out. You can see Neil Murphy's Siltec Fiesta van that we presented him with this morning there on the left hand side, parked up with the BMW Ireland cars in the pit lane. Just got a few messages in there to tell me that the Seat in ITCC is a diesel. I did think I saw black smoke out of it, but I didn't want to get it wrong. It's built by Darkside Developments in the UK, so great stuff for endurance racing. Certainly very quick for an old oil burner, isn't it? Great to see, and a great addition, and he's well able to drive it. Just got a lot of understeer when the rain came down. I think that's probably all that mid-range torque pushing the car straight on, but great to see, and a great addition. So thanks very much to Dave O'Brien and to Ulick Burke and Brian Sexton for sending me in the info there. So that's Irish touring cars, and next up will be the it'll be the Alloy Repair Centre Fiesta ST Championship. They'll give us great entertainment. Haven't seen them in the wet this year so far. They'll be a little bit skittish, no doubt, and we'll be riding on board with the Beacon Hospital car of Michael Cullen. Quick shot there over Michael Cullen's shoulder. Getting ready to go. They're almost ready to be released. He's in the yellow H car. Somebody having a look. There's Kevin O'Hara, is it? Yeah, how are you, Kev? Live on TV. He's no idea. Looks very serious, doesn't he? Quick chat with Michael Cullen there. So still rain falling here. Difficult conditions. but they're releasing them from assembly now. They'll be coming down to form up the grid. Okay, let's have a look at that grid as they're coming out. Top 6 will be reversed, of course. So Bobby Turley will start on pole, Cian O'Brien alongside him, then Brendan Fitzgerald and Tim McQuaid. Being released to the pit lane, Darragh McMullen next up, and Ross Barnes, who won race 1. That puts him 6th for this one. Then Michael Cullen 7th, Wayne Laverick alongside him. There's Michael Cullen heading out. The tricolour you'll be seeing on the car. Gordon Kellett, great run from Gordon earlier. Victor Cullen with a little bit to do. John Elliff, I was speaking to John at lunchtime. He's built a brand new car and he's having terrible trouble getting it dialed in. He said he would happily go back to his old car, and the work that he put into that car, he's very disappointed and just can't get it to handle at all. Then Chris Grimes Jr. will be alongside him. Then it's Marcus Hayes, son of John Hayes, great surname, very well known to us at Mondello Park. His dad was a great entertainer and a really talented saloon car racer here for many, many years. You'll find him on YouTube if you're bored during the week. Chris Jones of the Jones Investment car on the outside of the front. Not only does he race, he supports young Alex Denning in GT4 racing. Having a look out towards turn 3 there, and rain coming down very heavily still, and the visibility isn't good out over turn 3, so it's not going to stop anytime soon. You can see the way the flags are blowing all the way around the circuit. The poor marshals are getting blustered around as well down at turn 1 there. We can see them trying to huddle together. It's always difficult for the conditions for them. They don't get a chance to dry out at all when you get a shower of rain. They're waving green flags there in the background. Darragh McMullen trying to throw the car around, get heat in the back tyres. Ross Barnes. On board here, Michael Cullen, the LOH Motorsport car. Great to have these live on boards. They're getting 2 warm-up laps, just purely because of the wet conditions. So certainly, I think the almost driver of the day for me so far would be Tim McQuaid. He's went really well, a strong 3rd place in race 1, and what's his 3rd ever motor race. I was talking to Luke O'Hara at lunchtime. Luke very happy with his progress, and if you get a nod of approval from Luke, you're doing pretty well. You see Kevin O'Hara and John O'Hara now in the pit lane, 2 very experienced men. They run a great team, LOH Motorsport. They run that Beacon Medical car, was in shot now with Michael Cullen, Victor Cullen, Dave Maguire in Zetecs, as we saw. And 2 strikers as well for the 2 Cullens, also Tim McQuaid and Marcus Hayes, as Bobby Turley comes down to take his first pole position in this class. Gone well in this. He's not massively experienced, did a bit of Zetec racing, but he went very well this morning. And he will start this from pole. Cian O'Brien alongside him. Got to be a danger man, which is hard to know when conditions are like these. When conditions are like this, they can change things up quite a lot. It's nothing like the conditions they qualified in or raced in earlier, but let's wait and see. There's McMullen going through, championship leader Ross Barnes. Here they come, all resplendent in their new liveries. The Alloy Repair Centre, the new title sponsor for this, specialist alloy wheel refurbishment based in Cookstown, and a sister company of the Accident Repair Centre as well. Owen Cullen down here with us today, having a bit of fun. There is, as we said earlier, little birdie has told us that there may be another car being prepared up there in the Accident Repair Centre. Red lights are on, we're getting ready to go with the Alloy Repair Centre Fiesta STs, and away they go. And a great start from the pole man. Fitzgerald makes a good one too and heads to the barrier. It looks like Cian O'Brien. Tim McQuaid though on the outside with a cracker. Look at McQuaid on the outside. Cian O'Brien comes back at him though, but Tim McQuaid's late in the brakes. Can he get turned in? He can. Very impressive stuff once again. Oh, look at that sideways from Grimes. We saw that last time out. Very quick man in the wet. Watch out for that solid red car. But Tim McQuaid leading well at Campion Corner now. Fantastic stuff. No sign of a lack of experience at all from Tim McQuaid. And he's away down the road. Look, Cian O'Brien down the outside. Turley's in trouble. A little bit of help for Cullen there from McMullen. I think that was rushing behind somebody else. Fitzgerald now down the inside of 555. O'Brien, that's for second place. Cian O'Brien trying to go back at him. McMullen looking for a way by Ross Barnes. Now as they come back up here, Barnes closes the doors. They head towards the main arena. Bad conditions out there now. You can see it's getting darker. Then also around goes, oh, that's Barnes into O'Brien, and around goes O'Brien. Is that Michael Cullen up to fourth place? It is. It's all getting a little bit argy-bargy at the S's. Oh, and again, that's Barnes into Turley now. But McQuaid leading this one. Then Fitzgerald, McMullen, Michael Cullen. Then Turley. Then it's Ross Barnes having a rough first lap. Ross Barnes. Then Cian O'Brien. Then Grimes, Gordon Kellett, Victor Cullen, Wayne Laverick, John Elliff, Mark Turley, all streaming through. Oh, somebody slowing on the inside. Is that Victor? It's Michael Cullen. Having no luck with these STs. Michael Cullen, I think, down at turn one. Yeah. Car's just slowing there. Oh dear, that's such a shame. He's just having no luck with these cars. They're beautifully turned out, but constant problems. Such a shame. 4 is Victor Cullen. He's right behind Christopher Grimes Jr. there. Come back towards us. Tim McQuaid making good his escape. 1.3 seconds ahead as they went by the last time round. So we're just reporting the track that Michael Cullen's struggling for gears. He's trying to select a gear. He's coming very slowly up from turn 3. But Tim McQuaid, this is incredible stuff, number 22. He was very impressive this morning, even more so now. Brendan Fitzgerald in second place. Then it's McMullen. Then Turley, Ross Barnes and Cian O'Brien. And next up is Grimes, and Victor Cullen tries to get up the inside of him. Grimes contains that and closes the door on the way down the main straight. Fastest lap is to Bobby Turley in fourth place now. Bobby Turley going very well. Difficult conditions. Tim McQuaid is getting away though. Definitely opening that gap. It was 1.1 seconds. Cullen's in the pit lane now. That's a retirement for Michael Cullen. Absolute shame as he comes back down the pit lane. We're looking forward to some entertainment from the onboard camera. We're not going to see that today. Struggling for gears. He's already in the pit lane and pulled onto the apron. The yellow H team are there with him. Turley looking good here. He had fastest lap last time round. He's definitely closed in on McMullen a little bit, I think, for third place. Yeah, Tim McQuaid easing away here. It was 1.1 seconds. It's definitely longer, more than that now. Out of the S's, no problem to him. Right out to the edge of the track. As do his pursuers. Ross Barnes not quite managing to hang on to these, but he's had a bit of contact again, a bit like Holstein. It can knock the tracking out quite easily on a front wheel drive car. You may go home if you've got the tracking knocked out at all. The car will just understeer constantly, so maybe that's there's a lot of front end damage as well on Barnes' car. Never seen that car with damage before. It's always immaculate, as indeed most of the cars are in this class. Tim McQuaid opens the gap out, 1 point, well, less than a tenth, but he's the only one in, well, he did it 13.9. Bobby Turley, 13.1. So Bobby Turley's a danger man here. Fitzgerald slower than both McMullen and Turley on that lap. They've hauled him in for second place. On the way out to turn 3 now. Turley closing right down on McMullen there through the quick bit of turn 3. Then onto the brakes down into second. Little bit of contact on the back bumper there. Second gear now and up the hill, grabbing third before they get back towards us again. And Tim McQuaid, no mistakes, head down. He'd be tutored well by LOH Motorsport. Great stuff as they come through the S's. Right out to the edge of the track, onto the curbs for McMullen and sideways behind him for Bobby Turley, but well held. Didn't cost them any time. They're both still right behind Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald gets a little bit sideways, out of shape. McMullen has a go, doesn't manage to do it on that occasion. Turley gets a run at both of them though. Used his head and went high and wide, and he's got by McMullen, closed the door already as they go by us. So that's a good move by Bobby Turley. Just opportunistic stuff. McMullen trying to go back at him on the brakes. High and wide, but Turley really, as we said, danger man. Fastest lap is to Turley at the moment, 13.1. This is all allowing Tim McQuaid to get away. The gap out to 1.7 seconds now. Oh, Turley off. Oh, I'm not sure if there was contact there, but Turley, well, that's not a place you want to go off at Mondello Park coming out of Campion Corner. Big spin, lucky to keep it out of the bank. Leader coming back towards us. That's let Fitzgerald off the hook. They were beginning to crowd him there, but I suspect there might have been a bit of contact there. We'll be able to watch that one back hopefully as they came out of turn 2. Here they come up to Southside Motor Factor's corner. Fitzgerald, McMullen, Barnes, Keane O'Brien, Victor Cullen. Good job by Victor Cullen, up to 6th. Christopher Grimes Jr. Okay, let's see if we can have a look at this Turley incident in slow motion. Coming out of Campion Corner. Here we go. So he's there in behind Fitzgerald. McMullen behind him as they're heading towards Campion Corner now. This is second gear and grabbing third normally in the drive. And back end lets go of the car on its own. Hangs on to it, stands on the power. No contact. No, well, there was a little bit afterwards, but that's not McMullen's fault. That's definitely not Darren McMullen's fault. So it did look like when they came in to shot the second time, it looked like he was helped, but he wasn't. The back end stepped out. He just got a little bit of a fishtail, and McMullen's trying to get by him. There's a bit of side-on contact, so nobody at fault there. So McMullen's still in third place, going nicely. There's Barnes. Is he catching them? Let's watch the lap times. No, similar lap times. 7 minutes to go, looking very good for Tim McQuaid here in his third ever car race out front. Then Fitzgerald, McMullen, Barnes, Keane O'Brien and Victor Cullen. That's your top 6. It's a gap back after them. Huge battles down the back as we just see coming onto the main straight 4 or 5 cars together. There we go, that's the John Hayes cars machine going really nicely. That is Marcus Hayes, well up from where he qualified. He's up to 9th place overall and going well. The rain must suit Marcus Hayes. Then it's John Aliff, Trevor Farrar, Christopher Grimes Jr., Wayne Laverick and Arek, and I still can't pronounce that surname. Apologies for that, I got to go away and do some study. Then Chris Jones and Christopher Grimes Sr. So there are some good battles. That's Gordon Kellett now and Mark Turley. There's a blast in the past. They would have raced in the Dunlop Touring Car Championship in the mid-90s. Gordon Kellett, in fact, would have been racing 10 years earlier than that. Massively experienced. Gordo loves his motorsport. Turley gets alongside him now as they come up out of turn 3. Come back to the leaders. They're spaced out a little bit. Still focusing on the leaders. Fitzgerald gets a little bit out of shape there. McQuaid getting away every lap. Victor Cullen closing down Keane O'Brien a little bit, I feel there. Yeah, McQuaid on 13.7 there. He's quicker than anybody else on that lap, I think. Indeed he is. So that gap out to 2.7 seconds now with 6 minutes to go. Oh, Victor Cullen around the outside of Cian O'Brien. Gets it done. He's ahead by Campion Corner. As long as the back doesn't step out, it does. But he keeps the shoe in, lets her know who's boss, and pulls it back straight. Good stuff from Victor Cullen. Almost, he's fresh from a victory at Brands Hatch at the Lotus Cortina a couple of weeks ago. So going nicely, Victor. Fitzgerald in second, now McMullen in third. I think McMullen can do, I don't think, to get in there. Lapping, slow lap for Fitzgerald that last time around, a 14.6. 13.7 for McMullen, 13.7 for McQuaid. Second and third now up towards the final corner. And then it's Ross Barnes at fourth place. Another healthy dose of points for him in his Barnes Auto House and Alloy Repair Centre car. Coffee to go. McMullen gets the run this time on Fitzgerald on the main straight. Just look at the speed trap. Wayne Laverick fastest through the speed trap. He's down in 13th place. So Fitzgerald it is, hanging on in second place. McMullen trying to find a way around him. Once again, that time McQuaid quicker than everybody, and the gap out to 3.3 seconds now. 4 minutes to go, 4.5 minutes to go. So it's a bad day for LOH Motorsport with Michael Cullen's car stopping, but they're still leading. Their novice driver is still leading. Tim McQuaid, what a day it'll be for him if he could take a win here. Ross Barnes in fourth place. Ross will be calculating points, no doubt, in his head. He's leading the championship strongly now at this stage. Here they come down into the S's, left and then right. McMullen using all the track, trying to get a run again. He got a run a few laps ago. It doesn't happen on that occasion though. He got almost alongside as they came out onto the straight. McQuaid stops the clock that time around at 14.2. That's a lot slower than he had been going. 13.7 for Brendan Fitzgerald. That time round at 14.3. So Fitzgerald quicker than the other two that time round. Oh, very sideways stuff from Fitzgerald there. Turn one, that'll slow him down. It does, and McMullen's right with him now as they head for Campion Corner. It's definitely getting wetter out there. So it's McQuaid, Fitzgerald, McMullen, Barnes, Cian O'Brien, Victor Cullen. 3 minutes still to run in this. Right out to the edge of the track there. Barnes at fourth place. He's leaving that battle behind between Cian O'Brien, who's got back by Victor Cullen. So O'Brien and Cullen and Mark Turley, Gordon Kellett, Marcus Hayes still going beautifully. Here's our leader going through, Tim McQuaid. 2.5 minutes to run. So 1 minute and 50 seconds to go on this one. Closing stages. It's looking very, very good for Tim McQuaid, the novice. Only started racing this year. Bought this Fiesta ST. Runs with LOH Motorsport. No mistakes now up to the final corner. Might get another lap after this lap they're starting, because 1 minute 26 to go. He will do. 14.1 at 13.8 for Fitzgerald, 13.7 for McMullen. So they are hauling him in. It was 3.5 seconds. It's down to 2.4. Mullen quicker than both. Keane O'Brien doing a personal best there at 13.9. Out of the S's now and up towards the final corner. I think they will probably have another lap. Fergus Brennan is wondering below me. Checkered flag is not being unleashed or unfurled, it's not the expression just yet. But Tim McQuaid going nicely. There's Christopher Grimes Sr. in the ex-Jack Byrne car. Christopher Grimes Jr. in the foreground, headlights ablaze. That's Laverick and is that Hayes? Let's see as they go. It's hard to identify these cars coming down towards us. Oh no, that's Eric, the newcomer. Yeah, we got some great shots of him the last day. Full opposite lock on the way out of turn 2. Mark Quinlan got some cracking photos. There's a good battle. That's Marcus Hayes and Trevor Farrar. Farrar trying to get the nose up the inside. Leaders on the final lap now. They're all going by great battles in this one all the way down the back. Look at Hayes here holding on in front of Farrar. Hayes would love a top 10 finish and he's 10th at the moment, but there's a full lap to go and that's a quick man behind him. So Farrar having a real go. Trevor Farrar gets sideways. I think that's probably decided that one. That's cost him 4 or 5 lengths. So great battles as we said all the way down, but it's checkered flag time up front. Here they come and it's Tim McQuaid. This is incredible stuff. I'm delighted to see this. He really is going well. As we said, very little experience. Good guiding hand from Kevin and Luke O'Hara, and what a drive to take the win here. He's out of the final corner, no problem at all. They're all on the pit wall there. Look at that, the LOHP1 board is up, the checkered flag is up, and Tim McQuaid takes the win. He's delighted with that, and why wouldn't he be? Fist out the window, arm out the window in celebrations, and that's what we love to see at Mondello Park. Tim McQuaid beats all the regulars in the Alloy Repair Centre Fiesta ST Championship. This is a cracking championship this year. A lot of new drivers. We've 2 more drivers coming into it for the next race meeting. And Marcus Hayes, can he hang on for his top 10 finish? Farrar gets the run up the inside. Now Gordon Kellett crosses the line. John Elliff shadows him. But who's it going to be? Farrar with a run. They've given each other room. Let's see. Oh, it's Trevor Farrar. I think. No, it's not. It's Marcus Hayes. By 0.099 of a second, he gets his top 10 finish. Then Farrar, Christopher Grimes Jr., Wayne Laverick, all the rest. Fantastic stuff from Fiesta STs. But Tim McQuaid is the man. I think he just settled himself in and eased off a bit in the closing stages, but the gap was down to 1.8 seconds when he crossed the line. But what a drive from Tim McQuaid. Well, you can see from that last camera angle how wet it is down there. There's a picture of the pit lanes hammering down with rain now here at Mondello Park. Fastest lap to Bobby Turley at 13.1. Shame we lost him early on, but he's definitely worth watching for the rest of the year, Bobby Turley. So there you go. Tim McQuaid will like that graphic, won't he? He takes his first win. 13 laps they got done in 15 minutes. Brendan Fitzgerald next up, 1.8 seconds behind. Then Darragh McMullen completes the podium. Then Ross Barnes, Keane O'Brien, Victor Cullen, Mark Turley, Gordon Kellett, John Elliff and Marcus Hayes. So there you are. Bad enough in a saloon car, but single seaters, these guys are going to get wet. Formula Sheanes, the airport cars, .ie class, they've done a wonderful job with these class. Great to see the numbers back up. I'm back and well into double figures this morning at Mondello Park. There's a few of them on slicks, a few brave souls on slicks, but I think wet's the way to go here. Richard Carney leaving the pits lane last and on slicks, and the rain is absolutely hammering down. You can tell those decisions were made before they went down to the assembly area. And it would have been a reasonable guess, but the weather's changing so quickly today at Mondello Park. It's definitely the wrong way to go now. The rain, standing water on the track. In fact, I think slicks might be almost inoperable at Mondello Park today, if you can use that description of tyres. Useless, perhaps. Yeah, look at Richie Carney there on screen, coming out of Campion Corner, just wheel spinning everywhere. They do that a little bit anyway, these Formula Sheanes. Great cars for a bit of sideways action, but certainly they'll be very hard to. They're light and they've got a lot of power. And they'll need wet in conditions like this. But let's see. I've been told by my spy in the paddock that Enda O'Connor is also on slicks, but Keith Hogg is on wets, so watch out for that one. I'm not sure about Chris McCabe. He's on the front row. We'll be able to have a look out the window when they come down to the grid here. Enda O'Connor's on pole, Chris McCabe alongside him. Is McCabe out? He is, I think. He had a shunt early on. No, he's not out. No, they must not have fixed that car. That's a shame. He went so well. There's the conditions are coming down to airport cars.ie Formula Sheane trophy. Enda O'Connor on pole position. So Chris McCabe should be alongside him, but he's not there. Ironically enough, it's just got brighter, but I still don't think it's going to dry up. It's just suddenly got very, very bright, especially up at the final corner and a little bit more out over turn 3. But there's still rain streaming off the windows here as they come down to form up on the grid. It'll be interesting to see what they have. It's getting very windy out there too. The door is blowing here in the commentary box, getting a little bit stormy. A couple of hardy souls there making a run for cover on the main straight. Okay, they're heading away now. I think what's happened here is it's been declared a wet race, and they're being sent back into the pits to change to wets. I'm not sure, but I suspect that is the case. I think I see two Sheanes back in the paddock. Now one of them is that Chris McCabe heading back out. One of them is Richie Carney. Carney heading back into the paddock. I wonder, is he looking to fit wets on and get out there, or? Interesting stuff. Well, let's wait and see what happens, but certainly there are a couple of Sheanes blasting around the paddock there. Keith Hogg will be disappointed if he was one of the few that had wets on, but I think a few of them have wets on. I think I saw them as they went by. Hard to tell here. Coming very slowly. Is it another warm-up lap perhaps they're getting? I'm not sure. Sorry about this, a little bit of a lack of information. Right, so somebody is getting ready to head out the pits here. That is number 32. 32 is Chris McCabe. Okay, so they've got that car fixed and they've got wets on it. Maybe he missed the start because he was putting wets on. But he's going to be allowed, looks like he's going to be allowed to start from the pit lane. Fastening up his gloves. Big thumbs up to the starter there. He really wants to get going in this one. Watch out for Chris McCabe. Always good to watch. So this is a very slow lap. Whatever's happening, it must be another warm-up lap. And Enda O'Connor dictating the pace. Let's see. Just have a look out the window and see what Richie Carney is doing. Well, he's just parked up. Don't think they're trying to put wets on that car. So maybe a problem with the car. We didn't get him out in race one. Such a shame. Richie Carney always right in the mix in Formula Sheane. The ex-Barry Rabbit Leinster Trophy winning car he drives. Chris McCabe limbering up there. Getting ready to go. Moving the head from left to right. He looks very positive. Massive thumbs up to the starter there. He was told where he was starting. So everyone else being directed to the grid. And here comes Enda O'Connor. Not his first time in the front row at Mondello Park. You can be sure of that. He's on slicks. Enda O'Connor is on slick tyres. I can see it from up here. Keith Hogg is on wets. Lenan on wets. Vinny Kyo is on wets. Vinny Kyo, that's not the grid I have. Vinny Kyo is on row 2, where Richie Carney should be. So they're gridded up incorrectly. They're away anyway. Kyo it is on Hogg. The two wet shod cars just blasting by O'Connor. There goes McCabe out of the pit lane trying to limit his wheel spin. Changing up early even from first to second. And O'Connor there, masses of understeer on these slick tyres. Still trying to hold off. I think that's Charlie Lenan, who also has wets on. So the cars with the wets on. Somebody's gone off. Is that? That's Chris McCabe. Straight into the gravel down at turn 1, but he's managed to contain it and get back on. So it's very, very wet out there. We didn't know that. So it's Hogg out front. Then it is Vinny Kyo. Then it's Charlie Lenan, I think. Then Enda O'Connor still on slick racing tyres, somehow. Then it's Sean Kiernan. Here's Hogg right out to the outside, full racing line. So Hogg, Kyo, Lenan, O'Connor, Kiernan, Dunn, Dermody, Richie Adams. 15-minute race, 13.5 minutes to go. And O'Connor will be trying to keep in touch or stay on the same lap, and if it dries out, he'll be looking to charge back up, but I'm not so sure. It has stopped raining, and it is a little bit brighter, but there's a lot of water on the track still. We watched the lap times. They're capable of going around in under a minute, these Formula Sheanes. But we haven't got a rolling lap yet, just a standing start one, so we'll see what kind of pace they have in a couple of minutes. Kiernan there trying to let it run around the outside end. O'Connor still hanging on well, considering he's on slicks. And it's Kiernan and Dunn absolutely together behind him, side by side. Dunn trying to have a look down the inside of Kiernan. Mike Dermody going well, he's right with them. Dermody gets turned in and gets a little bit of a run at them on the way out. Here's our leader up to the final corner. Nobody touching Hogg here. 109.5, so 10 seconds a lap off the pace that they would normally do, but they are on wet tyres. Needs to get a lot closer to that before Enda O'Connor's slicks will start to work. He's doing well though, Enda O'Connor. There he is, look, he's 4th place on slicks. Not 100 miles away from this pair. They've both got wets on. They can't stay with Keith Hogg though. So it's Hogg, Kyo and Lenan is the order. Let's look at the lap times there. Enda O'Connor, 108.6 is the fastest lap for Hogg, but Kyo and Lenan, 110.2 and 110.1. 111.9 for Enda O'Connor. So he's not too far away in terms of pace. It dries out a little bit. He could be a factor here. We'll keep an eye on this. So Keith Hogg on his own in terms of pace. Brian Herty is down here helping him out a little bit today, just spectating. I was talking to him at lunchtime in great form, looks well. He won, I don't know how many championships here at Mondello Park, but well over 100 races. Very successful period of single-seater racing for him in V's and in Formula Sheanes. Here they come Come out of the S's now and up towards the final corner, Southside Motor Factor's corner. And still that yellow car in the background, Enda O'Connor. Leader goes through 108.5 for a new fastest lap. See if the boys can dip into the 9s. No, 10-2, still in a 10-2 again, but Enda O'Connor in trouble behind them. He's been caught by Mike Darmody as Chris Dunn spins. Coming onto the main straight. There's Enda O'Connor. There's Chris Dunn just recovering. Getting away ahead of Lenan, and Chris McCabe still going. Mike Dermody going well, 109.902. Is that Dermody? It is. He's up to 5th place and he's quicker than everybody except the leader. So Mike Dermody having the race of his life here, up to 5th place. Great to see it. 109.902. That's faster than Keogh, Lenan, O'Connor and Kiernan. So good stuff from him. Keep an eye out. That's that beautifully turned out orange and black car. He's up to 5th place. Sideways stuff from Vinny Keogh as he holds off Lenan there on the run up to the final corner. Darmody is a danger man. He's got by Enda O'Connor on this lap now. That's going to put him up to 4th place. Lenan weaving around behind Keogh. They've got an overtaking car going slowly. I think that's Mark Minahan. He was at the back of the grid. They've just put a lap on him. 4 laps in. Through Campion Corner now. Yeah, Darmody is up to 4th place. A little bit slower that time around, a 10.5. Chris McCabe is getting going with a 9.2. That's fastest lap of anybody on that lap. Christopher McCabe is faster than the leader. He's 2/10 faster than the leader, faster than anybody else. So Chris McCabe going nicely. Lenan with a bit of a run on Keogh now, side by side, coming down into the S's. Keogh just takes it back though, stays on the inside, gets on the power a little bit earlier, and then has the door closed for the right-hander. Lenan tries to get up the inside of the way up here. He should have that done. No. It's Keogh later on the brakes. Gets the door closed as our leader goes through. New fastest lap of 108.4. So it's definitely getting a little bit drier. Not enough for Enda O'Connor's tyres to start working just yet. There's Darmody going through. There's Enda O'Connor in the yellow, red and yellow car. Started this one on pole position, but opted for slicks. 7.5 minutes to go. We're at the halfway distance. Let's see what lap times he's doing. Now his lap times are getting slower. He's gone out to a 13 last lap round. So not working out at all for Enda O'Connor, unfortunately. Doing quite well just to keep it on the island, but he's back down to 6th place now. Up to 7th is Chris McCabe, who's on a charge. Lenan still trying to get by. Still absolutely together there. They go by. Vinny Keogh still ahead. He holds the inside line. Lane tries to go around the outside. Goes in too late in the brakes. Way too late in the brakes and into the gravel on the outside. Should have enough momentum to get it back out. He does. Should be able to hang on to that 3rd place. Just looking at the lap times again, Chris McCabe is the only one in the 8th, along with the leader Keith Hogg. Hogg fastest lap again, a 108.2. Chris McCabe with a 108.7, and he's up to 7th place. And O'Connor there with a big sideways moment in the background. He's being caught now by McCabe it is, who was 3 seconds faster than him last time around. Into the 7s now, Keith Hogg, 107.908. So it is drying up a little bit. There hasn't been any rain since the start of the race. The windows are clear on the commentary box. There's so much standing water as we saw earlier. And O'Connor's just done a personal best, an 11 dead. Still not on the pace, but interesting that he's getting quicker. I wonder, is it drying out just a little bit? There's Chris McCabe with fastest lap, 107.246. So he's caught Enda O'Connor now. Keogh goes through a massive gap for the lead, 15.9 seconds the gap between first and second now. Mike Dermody going well in fourth place. Sean Kiernan pretty close to him, and then McCabe, who's just got by Enda O'Connor. McCabe did an 8 dead that time round again, quicker than everybody bar the leader. Fastest first sector just in for Keith Hogg there. Pushing quite hard considering he's got such a massive lead. 16 seconds up the road. So Hogg, Keogh, Lenan, Dermody, Kiernan, McCabe, O'Connor and Chris Dunn, the order. O'Connor's off, just got away from him. I think that's turn 2, is it? On the way to turn 3, perhaps on the exit of Campion. Looks like it. He's gathered it all up and got it going again. Second and third place in view there. There's McCabe down the inside, but Kiernan doesn't let him have it. McCabe should have plenty of pace here. He's caught these guys from way back, but Kiernan putting up a brave fight. McCabe tucked right under his gearbox now as they go through the start-finish line. Looking for a way around the outside. Oh, Kiernan not giving him a whole lot of room. He does give him the width of a Formula Sheane, but not a whole lot more. And they're side by side on the brakes, but good defensive stuff from Kiernan there. Carries a bit of speed through, doesn't get overtaken on the way out. So McCabe is going to have to do a little bit of work here. Two white cars battling. McCabe quicker through Campion corner. That allows him to drag up alongside. Kiernan holding on. Oh, they make contact. They're both sideways. They're both off. Almost synchronized from the two of them. Oh, look at that, into gear and away. That's good stuff. Good recovery from Chris McCabe. The car barely stopped, and you can see the gravel shooting up. This won't be the slowest lap of the race either, I'd imagine, even with that pirouette. We might have a look. We might have a look back at that one actually. It looked absolutely highly spectacular, high-speed spin. He got the run out of turn 2, and then they got side by side. Let's just let the guys find that one, and we'll watch it back. Absolutely fantastic stuff. There we go. Look at this. They're out of turn 2. It's McCabe on the outside, Kiernan on the inside now. And they I think they just touch side pods or touch wheels offside. Look at that, absolutely synchronized, high-speed stuff. But watch the back of the car on the outside. Look at that. As soon as he gets into the gravel, he grabs a gear and just drops the clutch and away again. The great recovery from McCabe that time round. A 13.5 is Chris McCabe's lap time with that massive off on the outside, and that's comparable with some of the lap times being posted towards the back of this one. So incredible stuff from him. Nobody touching Hogg. The gap out to 20 seconds now, with 1 minute 26 seconds on the clock. That's 15. Aaron Lenan, beautifully turned out car. He's about to be lapped by the leader now as they come out on the main straight. Waves the leader by, stays offline. Good driving by him. Hogg now, probably another lap after this one, be touch and go when they come round. Vinny Keogh starting to motor on a bit. He's done a personal best there, a 9.4. Charlie Lenane a 12.3 that time round. In fact, Mike Darmody beginning to catch Charlie Lenane now. As indeed is Chris. Is that Chris McCabe behind? I think it is. Still watching the leader there at turn 3. 25 seconds to go. I think he probably will get another lap, although Fergus Brennan does have the checkered flag in his hand. I can see down into the starter's gantry below me. Hog on the brakes, 15 seconds to go, 14, 13. Might let it go this time, it's going to be very close. Will there be a checkered flag? No, there won't. One more lap to run. That gives McCabe a chance to have a go at Dermody. He's caught him, in fact, coming into the S's. McCabe having a look down the outside of Mike Dermody, tries to get back up the inside. Dermody has it contained, though. He's driving very well. Mike Dermody come on and leaps and bounds. You know, I think Carney's looking after him a little bit, so he'll be getting good tuition there, but this is a good drive from him. McCabe down the outside of the brakes, tries to get it done, but Dermody's going to make him work for it. It still holds on the inside. Who's it going to be at turn 2? I think Dermody will hang on, will he? He will. Nothing that McCabe could do there. This is the final lap, so he's going to have to do something special to take that one back. This is for 4th place overall. Mike Dermody would love a 4th place finish. There's the leader coming down extremely slowly to take the checkered flag. Keith Hogg, he's absolutely delighted. Could have come to a halt if he wanted there. He's so far ahead. And in fact, McCabe's got that job done on the final lap, so that'll take 4th place for him. It'll be 5th for Dermody. So we're looking for Vinny Keogh. So that's the battle for 4th place. There's Lenan, he's 3rd. Checkered flag is ready for all these guys. Vinny Keogh is going to take 2nd. A good run from Vinny Keogh. There's Vinny taking 2nd. That's Minahan gone down another lap, I think. There's Charlie Lenan. There's McCabe. Good recovery. Remember, started from the pit lane and went off on the first lap as well. So that's a good recovery drive and a great drive from Mike Dermody. Big gap back. Then it's Sean Kiernan is next up. Then it's going to be, there's Sean Kiernan. Next up should be Chris Dunn and Enda O'Connor. Enda did get down a bit more. He got to a 10.3 for his fastest lap. Here they come. Chris Dunn crosses the line to come home 7th. Enda O'Connor 8th. Aaron Lenan 9th. Richie Adams in 10th. And then just Mark Minahan. So results on screen there. There you go. Hogg, Keogh, Lenan, McCabe, Dermody and Kiernan, your top 6. Great stuff from the airportcars.ie Formula Sheane Trophy Race 2.
it out. Yeah, that's good. Good drive. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Rev it up, rev it up. Go there. Go, go, go. One right, immediately followed by a 5 right. Keep it in, keep it in, keep it in. Come on, come on, keep on, keep on. Keep on, keep on, keep on. Come on, come on, keep going, keep going, keep going.
So we're back for the final race of the ICCR weekend. Infinite Energy ICCR, great racing all weekend here at Mondello Park. In the honour of the final race, we'll go to the Precision Tint and Graphics Future Classics Championship. Great racing earlier on. We expect more of the same today. A little bit greasy, but they had their first race when the rain came, so they'll be used to it in this one. So Ray Mealy going to start on pole position. Says Paul Flanagan alongside him. We saw Paul with the car parked up, and I can see it on the trailer in the paddock. That's such a shame. So the little Clio will not be out in this one. Then Patrick O'Malley, watch out for Patrick O'Malley in the red Civic. Then Gary Bradley, another Civic. Aidan Byrne, the 306. There they're coming through now. There's Aidan Byrne in the black 306. Then James Marmion, the Celica. And Phil Lawless, also Celica mounted. There's your grid. So Phil Lawless, who actually broke the barrier time, I think, during qualifying this morning, so that put him to the back of the group, but he charged up to go very well in race one. This is the future class, and it's Jack Conaghy on pole position ahead of Noel Conaghy, but Noel reversed that decision in race one, that position in race one, and took the win. And then it's Christopher Lee in the little 1400 Punto, then Conleth Quinlan, and then it's Tristan Adam, Aidan Brennan and Aoife Brady in the Atlas Auto Service Civic Coupe. Getting 2 warm-up laps as the other classes did, just to make sure they can familiarise themselves with conditions. All weaving around a little bit, trying to generate a little bit of heat. So here they come. Should be gridding up this time round. Ray Mealy, as we said, is going to be on pole position. Paul Flanagan should be alongside, but isn't. No sign of the little Clio 172, unfortunately. Two Celikas. Two very well turned out Celikas. Look pretty similar, of James Marmion and Phil Lawless. It's Christopher Lee in the little Punto. Connell Quinlan in the Ford Focus. Tristan Adam in the beautiful little pop-up headlights MX-5 Mark 1. See it at the top of your screen there. Red car. Then Aidan Brennan in the another Civic Coupe, and then right at the back, because she broke the barrier time, is Aoife Brady. Watch out for her. She, I think, got third place. Got up as far as third place in Futures in race 1. Let's see what she can do in this one. But Ray Amelia, it is on pole position in that orange Celica, all on his own in the front row. Should have a clear run, although the power of the Civic on the second row, Patrick O'Malley, if he can get a launch, he might be able to power up alongside that Celica. Getting ready to go. Away they go, and the pole man just lights up the fronts, and everybody's going to go by him. Look at Aidan Byrne in the 306, looking for a gap. Phil Lawless as well, and their elbows out now on the way down to turn 1. This is great stuff. It's Bradley who leads. Gary Bradley grabs the lead. Somebody down the outside way too late. Is that Lawless? It must be. Surely Phil Lawless trying to look for a little bit of grip around the outside there. But Gary Bradley leads this one, the Wexford Motor Club man, and leads it well at Campion Corner. He's got to watch out for the straight line power, though, of this O'Malley car behind him, the red Civic. He was hanging on nicely, though, on the way down to turn 3. Didn't power up alongside him as I expected it to, so good stuff from Bradley. And Aidan Byrne up to third place in the little 306. He got a great start, Aidan Byrne. You can almost picture the big grin as he grabbed second gear there off the line. First 3 beginning to ease away. In fact, the two Hondas getting away from the Peugeot clearly there on the run up out of turn 3. And I think it's Lawless. Then Melia down the inside to take back fourth place after that disastrous start. And then it looks like the Italian job. The two Conaghys are on the way up in the Minis. These Minis really well suited to these positions, and they're going around the outside of one of the Celicas. Aidan Byrne's gone off. Does he hold on to it? Oh no, it goes around and around, but he ends up on the infield, waved yellow flags there. The Mini's still trying hard. They won't have the brake horsepower, these Celicas, I don't think, in a straight line though. If they go side by side, maybe they can hold them back. Yeah, Celica's just easing up alongside them. That's Lawless, I assume, first it is. So the order is Gary Bradley, Patrick O'Malley, Ray Melia, Phil Lawless, Noel Conaghy, Jack Conaghy, James Marmion, Conleth Quinlan, Aidan Brennan, Aidan Byrne, Aoife Brady, Christopher Lee and Tristan Adam. So Aoife Brady already up to third place in the Future Classics element of this one. That looks like it's 2 Celicas and 2 Minis almost identical. 2 sets of 2. So the lead has changed now as we thought it might. Patrick O'Malley out in front, Gary Bradley in second place. Then it's Melia, then Lawless, 2 Conaghys and Marmion. Marmion trying to get alongside the Minis on the run up the hill, which he does do. Then it's Conlon, then Aidan Byrne recovering. Christopher Lee's dropped to the back in the Punto, must have had a problem, or maybe a quick spin out of our view. Here's the leader Bradley, not letting him get away too much. He's hanging on gamely there. Conaghy again looking up the inside. Noel Conaghy trying to get by Phil Lawless. It's a bit of smoky, that first Celica. But 2 Minis and 2 Celicas, great to watch. Lawless beginning to get away just a little bit now, closing in on Ray Melia, the orange Celica, as they come down the straight. Phil Lawless up to fourth place. He's down the outside on the brakes. He's so late on the brakes, Phil Lawless, for the second time. You'd think he's going to go straight on, but he doesn't. He gets it turned in. He's round the outside. They're alongside each other, but Lawless has the inside for turn 2. Campion cornering. Does he get the job done? No, Melia sits around the outside of him. That's great stuff from Melia. And takes it back on the run to turn 3. Well, there's a manoeuvre that's lasting the whole lap. Lawless not finished just yet. Surely going to have another go on the outside. He is. This is great stuff. It gets right round the outside of turn 3. Can he get turned in for the second apex? No, he leaves a gap. Wonder, is he looking for grip out there? Possibly. He's made it work. It might have taken him almost a lap, but a great move there by Phil Lawless to take that place away, and that puts Lawless up into P3. Bradley just ahead. The lap time's very slow. It must be very slippy out there. The leader, and way quicker than anyone. He's on a 16 dead. Gary Bradley 18-2, 18 dead for Melia, 17-4 for Lawless. And again, Aidan Byrne, carbon copy, same corner, same thing. Groundhog Day for Aidan Byrne. Around goes the 306 again. Some back tires might be the best. Oh, and hanging the tail out there is Tristan Adam in the little RX-7 coming out of the S's. There it is, beautiful little car. Marmion now has finally got by the 2 minis. Lawless is away down the road ahead of Melia. 14.8 for the leader that time round. 16.3 for Lawless. Nobody else in the 16s. Oh, it's one of the Jack Conaghy's off. That's surely going to be a safety car. He's well dug into the gravel down to turn 1. There's a yellow flag down below me, but no safety car signed just yet. 10 minutes to go in this one. Yeah, safety car is being dispatched. Safety car is being dispatched. The sign is being prepared below us on the BMW Ireland M2 competition being dispatched. Jack Conaghy there up to his axles in gravel. The Niall Colgan Auto Service and Repair sponsorship on the side of the SWR, remembering Sean Woods Racing. There's our safety car. Will come out just in front of the leader, I'd imagine it will. Perfect timing. And already the snatch vehicles down there. These new vehicles we have at Mondello Park, specifically for race weekends. So they should be able to hook that up, although it's in pretty deep. Hopefully the towing eye will be accessible. And that'll be Jack out of the gravel. Great stuff. So they've been doing a great job with this snatch vehicle this weekend. Yeah, there's a towing eye on it, slipped it on. Good stuff. Now I'll get back into the Jeep. I'll take up the tension and pull that out, no problem at all. This could be a relatively short safety car period if they get that mini out quickly. And they're already, as we saw, they're already hooked up. Here's the BMW M2 competition. You can drive that car at Mondello Park if you want, all 460 brake horsepower of it. Just log on to mondellopark.ie and click on driving experiences. If you want to have a corporate event, you can bring your whole company down or your sales team down and use the boardroom facilities, and then go out and track and have a little bit of fun. We're busy from Monday to Friday doing those type of events down here. We also have early drive electrified by Opel. The early drive was for transition students, but now you can buy vouchers for it. It's great. It's road safety, but a little bit of driving as well. And these e-courses that we have a fleet of Opel Ireland e-courses electric here, and they're incredible to drive. They're a little bit too quick for what they are. Maybe they've got great amount of torque, and they're great fun to drive. But that's a lot of schools down here, quite a lot of the year. Not so much in the summer, of course. They're on holidays. All the rest of the year they're here. So lots of stuff going on here during the week, and of course drifting, motorbikes, rallycross and racing as well. So it's always busy at Mondello Park. The lights are off. The BMW Ireland safety car peels off and heads for the pit lane, and Patrick O'Malley leads with 8 minutes to go. Bradley napping a little bit there. He wasn't quite on the back bumper of that car in front. In fact, there are big gaps all the way back through the pack. I never really understand this when it's a safety car restart. Why would you not be on the bumper of the car in front? A few big gaps there. Back racing though, and that's Lawless now. Lawless is caught. Oh, Lawless down the outside, contact and off into the gravel. That looked like it's just Gary Bradley just locked up, and Lawless was already committed to having to go around the outside. But Phil Lawless, massively experienced, came off the brakes, let the car roll through the gravel, and then a little bit of luck and got it back around and out of the gravel. But he's off again at turn 2. So Lawless off again at turn 2. Whatever happened to his gravel on the back tires, that's not like Phil Lawless. But the first one certainly wasn't his fault. He was assisted. But that second one at Campion Corner, whatever happened. And now it's Noel Conaghy up to 3rd place overall and having a look at the Civic. They come back towards the main arena now. O'Malley way out front, 7 minutes to go. Conaghy looking for a way around Bradley. So that might have been Marmion that went off. I'm not sure actually. We're missing a few cars here, because there were a lot of cars between Conaghy and that's Melia. Melia's ahead of Bradley now. So it's all switcheroo. We'll watch when they go across the line. O'Malley's already gone across the line. He's first. Melia, I think, is second. Indeed he is. Hayden Byrne still on a recovery drive. There's 2 Civic Coupes battling away. That's Aoife Brady in the Atlas Auto Service car. She is now in 7th overall and 2nd in Future Classic class, so she'll be happy with that one. Behind Noel Conaghy, I think, as Bradley begins to get away from Conaghy. And Aidan Byrne now powers by Conlett Quinlan, who's going well in the CTEC engine Focus. He's up to 5th overall, back to 6th now as Aidan Byrne's gone by him, but he is 2nd in the Future Classic class. So there he is. That little focus going well. Unassuming looking car, but it's working well in these conditions. As they come back up from turn 3 again. 5 minutes 40 to go. Bradley beginning to ease away, as we said, from Conaghy. In fact, Bradley had a very slow lap last time round. That would explain why they were so close, I think. New fastest lap, 14.2 to Patrick O'Malley. .7 for him that time too. Let's see what Melia does. 17.2. 16.3 for Bradley. 16.4 for Conaghy. They're catching Melia. 15.2 for Aidan Byrne. Burner is on it here in the 306. He'll be telling great tales about this one later. Right in the mix. He's been off twice and he's on a charge again, Aidan Byrne. 5th place. Great stuff from him. Just hope he doesn't lose it coming out of the S's. Here we go. He's caught on Conaghy now. He should be able to just motor by the Mini. He does. Conaghy moves to the right to make him work for it, but Aidan Byrne's been around Mondello many, many times. Not afraid of a run around the outside of turn 3. Gets it done, closes the door, and is ready to get turned in for the second apex there. Conaghy right with him at the apex, but the 306 should motor away up the hill, and indeed it does. Gap just opens out. That's Aidan Byrne up to 4th place overall now. It's good stuff considering those 2 spins. And he's quicker than everybody except the leader on track now. Conaghy trying to hang on to the back bumper of the little 306 now as they go through the S's. Here's the challenge for second. Bradley gets alongside Melia now as they come up the hill, and he gets it done. Bradley takes back in 2nd place that he had earlier on. Good stuff from the Wexford Motor Club man. Ignite training and consultancy on the side of the car. Here he comes, 2nd gear into 3rd. Nicely done by Gary Bradley. 4 minutes to run. O'Malley, Bradley, Melia, Byrne and Conaghy the order. Aidan Byrne has caught Melia now for 3rd place. Chance he could catch Bradley here. Let's look at the lap times. 16 now, they're pretty close together. He'd need to get by Melia pretty quickly, but he's going to do that now as he motors by on the way down to turn 3. Nothing wrong with that 306 in a straight line, is there? Aidan Byrne, unusual choice of car, but it's quick and he drives it well. Melia trying to get back up to him, but Burning once again, same as the last lap. Conaghy has the door well and truly closed, gets into the apex, and again, good run up the hill. And that gap just opening up as he comes up the hill again. And he's now got a couple of laps, at least 2 laps, to try and catch Bradley, which I think he might be able to do. But Gary Bradley's got the head down. Look how much he's pulled on Melia since he got by him just a lap ago. So Aidan Byrne's going to have to go some. If he can get around this corner, he can, no problem. Doesn't spin off this time round. Good stuff. Aidan Byrne starting to go nicely. A few spots of rain coming down again. See the wipers on some of the cars. Byrne definitely has his eyes set on that 2nd place. For Brady now and Aidan Brennan together. Oh, they've caught. She has to go defensive, but they've caught Conlon Quinlan from well back. So she could get 2nd place in this. That's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th now in the Future Classics class. This is good stuff between the Focus and the 2 Civics. Car's bouncing an awful lot, that car of Aoife Brady. Doesn't look particularly right on the straight there. She's heading down the main straight. Nothing wrong with the pace of it though. She's quicker than the car in front by a 2nd that last time round. This is the battle now for 2nd place overall with 2 minutes to go. So another lap after this one. Oh, Aidan Byrne late on the brakes at the 2nd part of turn 3, right up under the back wing of Bradley's Civic. Bradley gets turned in up the hill. Good clean run from both of them. Background we can see that battle still going on with the 2 Civics. This is the battle for 2nd place though. Bradley's got a good run around the S's. He's opened that gap up again. Right out to the edge of the track there, trying really hard. He'd love to hang on to 2nd place. Gary Bradley's going well in the championship here and enjoying it a lot. Here he comes out on the main straight. A little bit of understeer, but he controls it nicely. Out to the white line, back to the inside then. On Aidan Byrne, this car's quick in a straight line. He's lining him up surely, right on his back bumper. He pulls out, but Bradley's Civic isn't slow. They're neck and neck. door to door under the BMW bridge. Oh, Bradley giving him a little bit of an elbow there. That's similar to what happened with Phil Lawless, but they stay apart. But he's not letting him around the outside. He is letting him around the outside. Aidan Byrne goes right around the outside and says, have some of that. Oh no, he's gone again. Aidan Byrne, the back end lets go. Well, he is the entertainer today, isn't he? But that car's just a little bit taily, and Burner is in the wall. So Gary Bradley will be chuckling away on his last lap, or second last lap, but the clock is ticking down now. So there he goes. I can tell you that off-screen Aoife Brady has taken that place from Conlon Quinlan, and she's now up to second place in futures. Noel Conaghy's still going beautifully, but her lap time's comparable to his in the closing stages. Here comes Bradley now. 30 seconds to go to the leader. Oh, that's a shame. The little MX-5 has stopped Tristan Adam. As Christopher Lee goes through. Waves yellows for that car parked there. That's our leader. Should be absolutely fine. Here comes Bradley in second, Mealy in third, Conaghy in fourth. And here's this hectic battle. Look at this. This is for second place in the future class. Aidan Byrne again in the mix. He's got in front of Aoife Brady. She won't want him there because that's allowed Conlon Quinlan to close back up to her again. And indeed, Aidan Brennan, who's there too. Great stuff from these guys. Really good battle as they come down the main straight. Aidan Byrne should get away from them now, and Aoife Brady beginning to ease away, I think, from Conlon Quinlan just a little bit. She's trying to hang on to the back of Aidan Byrne now as they come down into turn one. Oh, you see Byrne's car moving already. It's very taily, even the mid-corner at the apex there. He got in the power and pulled it straight, but it's obviously very taily, that car, as he goes through Campion Corner. But he's driving away from these lower class cars now, Aidan Byrne. So here's our leader. This is it for the checkered flag. He's going to go by Christopher Lee's Punto. It blasts by that car on the brakes. Absolutely untouchable in this. He was 17 seconds to the good last time around. The rain is coming down heavily now at Mondello Park. Checkered flag for the last time. The soaking wet checkered flag is ready to be waved. Waves yellows and a checkered flag, and the winner, Patrick O'Malley. Great drive from him in that beautifully presented Civic. Next up, who's it going to be? It's going to be Gary Bradley, isn't it? But not by much. Ray Melia closing him in again on that final lap. And Noel Conaghy not too far away. So there's your second and third place in the main super class. And the winner of the future classics class is Noel Conaghy, right with them. Headlights ablaze. And then next up, who's it going to be? It's going to be Aidan Byrne, the entertainer. There he goes. So he's going to take fifth place. And this is the battle for second, third and fourth in future classics class. And it's just about going to be the bouncy Civic of Aoife Brady for Atlas Auto Service. Conlon Quinlan right next up in that Focus, which is going well, and Aidan Brennan in the similar Civic Coupe right there as well. He's fourth in futures. So great stuff. James Marmion coming down to us. I think he's had a few excursions. Perhaps he crosses the line now. Christopher Lee next up. He's all on his own. Still circulating, I think. He is. Just coming around the S's now. So difficult conditions for the runners in a lot of the classes today. But great entertainment all day. And thanks very much to all the marshals, of course, who've had a rough time in the weather. Had a rough time in the weather today. I know they'll be trying to get themselves tried out. There's really heavy rain at some stages during the afternoon. There's your result. Patrick O'Malley takes the win in the 2-litre Civic. Gary Bradley next up. Says he's in a 306, but he's in a Civic. Then Ray Mealy in a Celica. Noel Conaghy in a Cooper. The entertainer, Aidan Byrne, in the 306. And then it is Aoife Brady, Conlon Quinlan, Aidan Brennan, James Marmion and Christopher Lee in the little 1400cc Punto. Well, there you go, ladies and gents. That concludes our racing. The rest of them were non-finishes. That concludes our racing. You can see Neil Murphy's little Siltec Fiesta van down in the pit lane, the new safety car for the Siltec safety class. So great entertainment over 2 days. I'd like to thank all the officials and all the marshals and starter. Rough conditions today. Sun cream yesterday and umbrellas today at Mondello Park. But it has been wonderful racing. We'll tot up all the championship points and they'll all be on ICCR.ie very, very shortly. If you have got a transponder, don't forget to drop it back, and keep an eye on mondellopark.ie for all the goings on here at the circuit, and of course ICCR.ie for any information on the Infinite Energy ICCR. There's Neil Murphy getting into the Fiesta van. He must be heading off home, blissfully unaware that he's on live television here. Great job by Martin Kavanagh and the See It Live crew as ever. I'm sure the conditions were a bit challenging today with the rain that came down. So that's about it. If you're watching this live, you can watch it back on YouTube or on the Facebook channels. It'll be available to view immediately on those. You can just play it back. So thank you very much from Leo Nolte and from everybody else here at Mondello Park, and we will see you back here shortly in about a month's time, actually, for ICCR Infinite Energy ICCR Round 3.
Square left onto the Yeah, that's good. Good drive. Keep on. Keep on, keep on, keep on. Rev it up, rev it up. Go again. Go, go, go. One right, immediately followed by a 5 right. Keep it left, keep it left, keep it left. Come on, keep on, keep on, keep on. Keep on, keep on, keep on. Come on, come on, keep going, keep going, keep going.